but it'll be considered without effort stronger. The story from WBBM political editor Jeff Buckles.
Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins has been down this road before. Last year, City Council approved his proposal, letting police call a snap curfew with 30 minutes notice in an area expecting an unauthorized gathering. The mayor vetoed it. Now, the council's Public Safety Committee has advanced a revised version that extends the lead time to 12 hours and includes consultation by the deputy mayor for public safety. And Alderman Hopkins says he has more support this time.
My co-sponsor on this is Alderman Hall. He was a no vote the last time I tried to pass a curfew ordinance. He's a yes vote today.
But a companion proposal to fine social media companies that don't delete posts that promote those gatherings will stay in committee for now.
There's some obvious flaws in it, but those flaws can be corrected.
William Hall from Auburn Gresham is the main sponsor.
We're going to figure out how to protect our children and not allow social media companies to continue to do what they do.
We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
All the while, the city of Chicago is 1 week into its new budget year, and the mayor says he and his team are already preparing for the possibility of cutting city jobs. Mayor Johnson's comments are the latest criticisms of the so-called alternate budget plan sponsored by a group of aldermen and approved by the city council last month over his objections.
Our last city council meeting, we made some adjustments to be able to make sure that the presentation of the package was entered correctly, but there are still some concerns about whether or not the budget projections that were put forward by those other alders, that those projections will actually materialize.
Supporters of the other budget insist the plan approved by aldermen is balanced and accuse the mayor's office of making what they call doomsday scenarios without legitimate cause. Inspector General for Chicago Public Schools, meantime, finds persistent problems with fraud and sexual abuse.
A manager repeatedly falsified applications for federal grants by overstating how many students were enrolled in the district's American Indian Education Program. The Inspector General first discovered this in 2021 and reports it continued to happen, despite the office recommending extra oversight. CPS has agreed to repay $1 million by the end of October. The IG also found 26 employees, contractors, or volunteers committed sexual misconduct. 4 have been convicted of criminal charges and 2 other cases are pending. The report says 7 staffers at 2 unnamed high schools that share a campus engaged in misconduct with current or former students back in the 2010s, calling it a systemic problem. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Deadly crash sends a car into a Calumet Heights business. It happened this morning near 92nd and Stony Island. A black Cadillac driving southbound on Stony Island before it hit a blue Mini Cooper. Detectives say the Mini Cooper then struck a business and its driver, a 50-year-old man, died after reaching the hospital. A 47-year-old man, the driver of the Cadillac, was taken to a nearby hospital but is expected to recover. Police continue to look into the circumstance of that crash. A Dutch solar company that plans to expand in the U.S. has narrowed it down to 2 finalists, and one is in the far north suburbs.
Waukegan City Council members have approved a resolution that allows them to work with SoLarge as the company considers building a new solar panel plant in the area. A site in Kansas is also in the running. Derek Vandervorst is a business advisor with SoLarge.
We think we can really help revitalize an underserved area that has suffered from asbestos and, of course, coal power pollution with the adjacent NRG site.
That being the former Johns Manville plant, the site where the new factory could be built. The plans received overwhelmingly positive reviews from aldermen like Juan Martinez.
This is a win-win for Waukegan. This is something that this magnitude has never happened here. So I hope that, I know we're one of the 2 in the running. I hope that you guys consider us because I'm really excited.
A final decision is expected by the end of March. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 4:08. Time for traffic and weather together on the 8s. Near's Neil Fiorito.
A big delay on the Stevenson on the outbound side from First Avenue to County Line. That's a crash blocking the 2 left lanes. You're getting by only in the right lane. Keith called that in on the WBBM Mercedes-Benz Department of State's traffic tip line, 855-780 Road. Again, a crash. Stevenson outbound at County Line in the 2 left lanes. 58 to get to the Tri-State, an hour 13 to 355. Coming in about 45 minutes, 25 in from 294. At Gapers, delay in from Lamont Road over to County Line. A crash in a lane on the Eisenhower inbound at Ashland, which is why you're really heading from Manheim. Hour 10 to drive in from the Jane Addams. 42 in from Manheim. The outbound ride to Manheim's 42 and an hour 3 out to the Jane Addams Tollway. On 57, a lot of traffic outbound before 127th to before 147th Street. Earlier crash there involving multiple vehicles. about 30 minutes to drive out to I-80. Back to the expressways along the Edens coming in, about 35 now down to the Kennedy from Lake Cook Road. On the Kennedy, you're 43 in, 38 out to the airport, and the express lanes are moving okay for the Wintrust mural on your North Avenue to the Edens Expressway. And if you hop in the express from downtown, you'll save 4 minutes out to the Edens. Looking over on the Dan Ryan, you're 40 minutes outbound, just a 16-minute trip in from the merge into downtown. The Bishop Ford outbound a little slow approaching 130th Street. DuSable Lakeshore Drive on the brakes northbound. Roosevelt to Monroe, heavy from Navy Pier to Chicago. And southbound, you're backed up before Michigan, down to Chicago Avenue and into Hyde Park approaching 57th. Looking on the tollways, nothing major to mention. A delay here, a delay there. That's about it. I-80 in the southwest suburbs, you have delays on the eastbound side from Center to Richards and westbound between US 30 and Larkin. Route 53 northbound slow from Algonquin Road to Kirchhoff. Northwest Indiana with a delay on 8094 west from Grant over to Broadway. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 418 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, the rest of this afternoon, sun and clouds with highs in the 40s. Increasing clouds tonight with a low around 40. And tomorrow, windy with some rain at times with a high in the mid 50s. Right now, we've got 43 at O'Hare, 39 in Waukegan, 43 Lakefront. A bit of a turnaround. The Dow's losses deepen into the closing bell. The Nasdaq clings with some gains. The Nasdaq up 37, but the Dow lost 466. It's 410.
At Malman Law, we know that when nursing home and assisted living facilities become careless, someone has to read between the lines. Sensors, broken bones, medication errors.
What's up, Johnny Boom Boom?
Signs are there, but nursing homes...
You still running around with bacon and dogs or what?
We've spent over 30 years making facilities answer.
Look at that nice sunset there, huh?
Good news, justice isn't just possible, it's within reach. Call us at 888 Malman Law or visit Malman.
What are you working on, Johnny?
Just Lunch presents a New Year's dating fantasy.
What's up, Rob?
That's why I'm standing.
It's a nice day today.
Like that's gonna happen. Call the dating experts at It's Just Lunch. They get to know you, then match you with a great date for lunch.
Beautiful. Look at that nice sunset up there.
From It's Just Lunch.
What's up, Jason? Hey, man, what's up, my brother? Oh, just cruising around, doing our thing. You know how it is. Trying not to get shot by ICE agents. You gotta be, look, first of all, my condolences. It's not funny when anybody dies. No time. But what are you doing blocking ICE agents and driving towards them? That's pretty dumb. God rest her soul, but that wasn't a smart person there.
The protesters against the closure say it hurts women and children by giving them fewer options. But Ascension says they can serve people well at one hospital. Cisco Cotto, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A long-time Northwest Side business will remain open thanks to new owners. Paterno's Pizza and Sports Bar on North Milwaukee has been a Jefferson Park staple for decades. Now the Paternos are saying goodbye to the family business after 71 years. The good news, though, is the new owners are promising to respect everything that makes the business special, but hope to bring in some new improvements in the future. A well-known Chicago theater artist is stepping down from her role at the Shattered Globe Theater Company.
Sandy Shinner will be stepping down as producing artistic director of Chicago's long-established Shattered Globe Theater Company this spring. 75-year-old Shinner is a longtime fixture in the Chicago theater scene who ran the company for roughly 13 years. Before that, she was associate artistic director of the Victory Gardens Theater Company. Shinner will remain a member of the theater's ensemble, and the Shattered Globe Board of Directors will conduct a national search for her replacement. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And an 18-year-old man has been found guilty of disorderly conduct stemming from a summer protest in McHenry.
It was something that's occurred at other similar rallies. A pickup truck sending a thick cloud of diesel exhaust into a crowd. It's called rolling coal, done by modifying the fuel-air mixture. Nicholas Thompson was driving a Dodge pickup as protesters lined Route 31. Sue Rose, an organizer, was feet away. She said the cloud was so thick she couldn't see the truck. The Daily Herald reports she testified it burned her eyes and made it hard to breathe and that she felt assaulted. Thompson's lawyer argued it was a malfunction. The judge said that was just an excuse for his behavior after the fact. Thompson was fined $300. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Showering, making breakfast, checking emails. No matter how you
We should make a GoFundMe for that guy. I seen the video. Do you guys remember that video? I don't know if they were. I don't even know what these protesters are. They anti-ICE, anti-Trump, anti-Venezuela, pro-Venezuela, Gaza. They're Gazas. They're Muslims. They're anti-Semites. They're weird. Somebody made a funny meme once. They turn in their flag for the next flag. Oh, Ukraine. It's everything, right? Russia. But that guy, what happened is they were standing on the curb, and he had one of them big trucks, and as he's going, he pushes the gas. It smoked them out pretty good. So we should make a GoFundMe for that guy.
So, golf, spa, and sunshine, and no passports required?
Nope. The Grand Hotel in Fairhope. Since 1847, the Grand has been an icon on the Gulf Coast. This winter, stay in the country and vacation in grand style. Visit grand1847.com. That's grand1847.com.
4:15, the AccuWeather 5-day forecast sponsored by Four Seasons. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electric. Maybe some rain tomorrow. Meteorologist Brian Thompson.
It looks like we will see some rain moving in tomorrow afternoon, Lisa, and into tomorrow night as well as temperatures continue to climb. We're going to see temps get into the 50s after what's has not been too bad of a day around here today. Temps have gotten into the 40s this afternoon as the sun has come back out. We will have a mainly clear sky to start tonight, then clouds will increase later on tonight, so around 39. As we head through tomorrow, it will be a mainly cloudy day. Again, the breeze will pick up in the afternoon as some of that rain moves in. A high tomorrow, 53. And then periods of rain, breezy, kind of warm tomorrow night. Temperatures will be steady or even rising a bit. And then as we head into Friday, a shower in spots to start, otherwise mainly cloudy, breezy, and eventually turning cooler. Temps will fall from the 50s into the 40s, and then colder into the weekend. Clouds Saturday, some rain and
What's
snow.
up, Isidore?
Might be a small accumulation into Saturday evening, a high of 37, and blustery and colder heading into Sunday. Perhaps a stray morning snow shower, then clouds will be in the afternoon. Sunday's high only near 30. 43 degrees right now at O'Hare and at Midway, 44 in South Chicago, 44 at the lakefront, going down to 39 later tonight.
39 degrees, it's warm out.
Brian, it is 4:16. When looking for a Chevrolet, visit Illinois' Chevrolet Dealer of the Year.
Yeah, everybody knows somebody got shot up there in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis. They're messed up. We'll talk about that after sports.
Love has not played since he left the last game against the Bears on December 20th with a concussion. Bears defensive coordinator Dennis Allen on preparing for Love's return.
I think we're ready to defend the Green Bay offense and the things that they like to do with him. I don't think anything's really going to change in terms of how they go about game plan or how they want to try to attack us. They'll stick with their plan.
A couple of key players could make their returns on Saturday. Receiver Roma Dunze and nickel corner Kyler Gordon. And both of those players were limited in practice today. The Cubs have made a huge splash today. They are trading with the Marlins for starting pitcher Edward Cabrera. Cabrera had a 3.53 ERA in 26 starts this past season with Miami. In exchange, the Cubs are sending their top prospect, outfielder Owen Casey, to the Marlins, along with a pair of other hitting prospects. The Bulls try to end their 2-game losing streak tonight. They are in Detroit against the Pistons. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock, and you can hear that game over on our sister station, the 670 The Score. And the Blackhawks, red hot, and they are at home against the St. Louis Blues tonight. Hawks have won 3 games in a row, looking for a 4th tonight. A later game than usual at the United Center. Puck drop is at 8:30. With sports at 16 and 46, I'm 670 The Score's Adam Stasinski on News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Adam, thank you. 4:18 now. Traffic sponsored by Metra, and here's Neil.
A lot of traffic to and from the southwest suburbs on the Stevenson today, guys. Outbound solid from First Avenue to County Line. Crash cleanup there. Looks like everything's on the left shoulder now and out of your lanes. You're still looking at close to an hour just to 294. Hour 13 to 355. With a Gapers delay coming in Lamont Road to County Line, you're at 45 in from the Veterans Tollway to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Metro wants to remind you to avoid delays like these in the future. Pick up a train. the Heritage Corridor line is available out of Willow Springs. We're looking at a pretty big delay on the Eisenhower coming inbound. Crash getting cleaned up on the right shoulder inbound right around Ashland. Stop and go traffic from Manheim Road. Hour 10 in from I-90 or 42 in from Manheim. On the outbound side of the Yike, 42 to Manheim and hour 3.
That lady that got shot wasn't an immigrant. She was a protester, I hear. It wasn't illegal. It was a resident in America. I don't know, but we'll see. She was blocking the ICE car, and they came to move her car, then they said, wait, or something like that. And she drove towards the guy, and he shot her. I don't know. You can't do that stuff, right? Like I said, God rest her soul, but she wasn't too smart, man. You got a bunch of dudes with guns around you. I don't know. I don't know what to say to people anymore. What? I was talking to my wife. They can argue whatever they want. But what was her intention to be there with those ICE agents? If you're there to disrupt and to do things, then you have bad intentions. If you want to protest, get yourself a sign and sit on the sidewalk and protest, walk around, do whatever you want to do. But you're starting to use cars and block people. And you see that? There's a migrant there sitting right there. Right there, man. There's a migrant right there exploiting our children. 3 of them right there in the doorway. They need to be deported, all those people, right? Now, there you go, Michigan Avenue empty like yesterday. So it wasn't, right? I wasn't a figment of my imagination yesterday, right? Now, where you going, man? See, it's empty.
From Minneapolis coming up at 4:31. Well, very few places in Chicago will be pro-Packers when Green Bay comes and battles the Bears to advance in the NFL playoffs, but at least one sports bar will give the green and gold a little taste of home. For almost 35 years, Will's Northwoods Inn in Lakeview has served Packer fans for every televised game. As for Saturday's big matchup at Soldier Field, owner Will Bungie says they expect a line to get in and already are preparing the menu with a chock full of Wisconsin fare.
We are the best cheeseburgers in the world. Game Day Grill will also feature burgers and brat. Your typical Wisconsin fare. We'll order extra beer, extra cheese curds, and we'll be ready to go on Saturday.
Monkey says 99% of his customers are Packers and Wisconsin fans, but every once in a while they get a couple of brave Bears fans that come in. He says everyone is always well behaved, but admits that depends on the outcome. Chicago's chief financial officer leaving City Hall to join the nonprofit that runs Navy Pier. Jill Zaworski's exit leaves a vacancy but critical post. As Mayor Johnson approaches the final year of his first term in office, the decision was made near the end of the year, but Jaworski wanted to wait until the city budget was finished. She joins Navy Pier on February 2nd as chief financial and administrative officer. A mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow takes a turnaround into the red. We're going to check in with Bloomberg coming in. It's 4:22.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been here. Intention. Look, anybody that's been in courtrooms and listen, that guy with the case of the truck and the diesel fumes on the people. The judge said, yeah, no, you intended to do that. You intended to do it. It's called intention. Crimes go by intention, right? That's where you get the mental stuff, right? Where you can be mentally disabled. A guy just was ruled mentally disabled. The guy that, what did he do? He shot at a cop or something like that. That picture I put up this morning, I think. He's in McHenry or Kendall in Oswego, murder. He murdered somebody at the Chick-fil-A in Oswego. He's from Kankakee. He's mentally unstable, so he can't go to court. It's intention, right? Everything's by intention. So again, what was the lady doing next to ICE agents with her car? Well, the video is clear. She was blocking an ICE agent with her car. She was perpendicular to the road. Now, should she be dead? Well, I don't know. Maybe she shouldn't be dead, but why are you there? Why are you doing that? Like I said, grab a sign, go protest. If you want to do civil disobedience, block the road with your bodies, but not with a car. And then when you start driving towards an agent, yeah, I think that's a bad idea there. That's just my view. If you're driving towards a cop, that's a bad idea, right? Now, if you're in Chicago, you might get a $1 million settlement here, right? I don't know, and you know what it is up there? That's by where George Floyd was killed. So they might burn up the town again. We'll see. Just like George Floyd, should be a dead or alive? Yeah, he should. No one should die, right? No one should die doing that kind of stuff. And then afterwards, what, are you going to burn down your town? All right, I guess that it is what it is, right? I mean, that's the way that this goes now. You see how it is? It doesn't make sense. We need to get back to regular, normal thinking, right? What's good, what's bad, and that don't mean we don't protest. That don't mean, and look, Johnny Boom Boom is the perfect example. He's a MAGA. Me and him get along great. He doesn't agree with everything I say, but he doesn't call me names. I don't call him names. We do our things. We do joint interviews. He gets on my show. He talks on my live feed. I don't like some of the things he says, but hey, he doesn't bother me and I don't bother him. You kind of get how that goes? When you start doing weird stuff, whether you're Antifas, whether you're environmentalisms or MAGAs or Tea Party or whatever you are, Muslims. Same thing with Muslims. I got a lot of great Muslim friends. I got Muslim friends going back 50 years almost, since I've been a little kid. I know what they do. I know their prayers. I know all of that stuff. I went to mosques when I was a little kid. I know family friends from long time ago. Long time ago. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. We have discussions on stuff and they don't bother me, right? We don't agree on everything, but they don't bother me with my viewpoints and I don't bother them on their viewpoints. I think that's why don't we get back to that? It doesn't matter. You don't have to agree with somebody. You don't have to agree. And I ain't telling you to be. I'm going to try to not swear today. I was swearing yesterday, which was bad. You don't have to be a pushover. And you don't have to be a snowflake. You don't have to be a worm. And I was going to use another word, but we're not going to do that. You should stand up for your rights. And everybody knows me, and I'm not gonna say, I have to say it a certain way. And I'm not a guy that says slap the other cheek either. I'm not that guy. Don't you slap my cheek, something bad might happen to you. You know me, how I talk, and when I get threatened by gangbangers and criminals, look at this whole spot is empty here. Don't you see that there? Look, that whole corner here is empty. See that there? All those businesses are closed. See that there? We're on, what is that? Michigan and Jackson. See that there? See that there? Here we're at Michigan and Jackson, the height of rush hour. We got 100% vacancy on this corner here. See that? That side and that side. They're both they both don't have businesses. It's 100% because the other side don't have businesses. The other side is the Art Institute. And you figure the Art Institute is a world famous museum. Now look, you got another corner. That's the most telling thing when you see these corner stores shut down. So if you have 2 blocks and you had 4 corners, 3 of the corners are closed. That's 75% vacancy here on Michigan Avenue between Jackson and Van Buren, right? There you go. 75% vacancy on Michigan Avenue. We're going to listen to 4:30 News now.
Between the Tri-State and Manheim. A nagging delay on the Eisenhower coming in from Manheim to Ashland. Crash getting cleaned up on the
75% vacancies on corner.
43 in for Manheim.
Storefronts on Michigan Avenue between Jackson and Van Buren.
On the Stevenson, still dealing with some delays on the outbound
4:28 p.m., January 7th, 2025.
All out of the lanes, I should say, getting cleaned up on the left shoulder at County Line on the outbound Stevenson. 57 at the Tri-State, hour 10 to 3:55. Coming inbound, you're at 45 minutes.
So now the mayor is blaming the aldermen for the layoffs that are coming. There's some more closed down. See that there? You got more corner stores. Look at that. Those are all shut down there. See that? We're going to listen to the local news now.
Travel time on 57 outbound 20 and 18 on the outbound Ford. You saw the Lakeshore Drive delays on either side in spots between Graham Park and Chicago Avenue. You also have delays further south from 50th to 57th and Hyde Park. Tri-State on the break southbound with a stall near the Eisenhower in the left lane. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 438 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Right now we've got cloudy skies.
4:30, local news that could be coming up. Listen up to what Brandon Johnson.
How expensive things are, but new windows.
Listen to how Brandon Johnson lies. That guy is such a liar, it's unbelievable.
Plus, you could get those windows with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. No more cold drafts from your windows. No more paying more for heat than your friends, family, and neighbors. It's time for new windows. Let them know Josh or News Radio sent you. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Go to windownation.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:30, happy Wednesday, the 7th day of January. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. An ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis earlier today. We're going to get the latest in the live special report ahead from CBS News.
This is Carolina Garibay. Gun violence prevention leaders gather on the South Side to call for the passage of a new first-of-its-kind gun law.
Chicago police could soon have a new tool to combat so-called teen takeovers in the Loop. Plus, an outgoing Northside Democrat gives her stamp of approval to a candidate running to replace her. Sports, Bulls take on the Pistons in Detroit. Hawks home hosting St. Louis in business.
A mostly down day on Wall Street. A lot of worries about a weakening U.S. labor market. The Dow falling 466 points. The Nasdaq was up 37. The S&P lost 24. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Mainly clear tonight, then increasing clouds, a low around 40. Right now we have 43 degrees, partly cloudy skies at 4:31.
CBS News special report. An ICE officer shoots and kills a woman in a South Minneapolis neighborhood, and reaction is coming in. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle and a woman attacked them.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry responds.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit.
U.S. Senator Tina Smith says the woman was a U.S. citizen. Minneapolis leaders say the victim was a legal observer of federal actions in the city and was not a target for an ICE-related arrest. Governor Tim Walz has issued a warning order to the Minnesota National Guard.
Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait.
CBS News special report. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
4:32, gun violence prevention leaders are out on the South Side pushing for a passage of a new first-of-its-kind gun law.
Gathered at St. Sabina Church, local and national gun violence prevention advocates champion the Responsibility and Firearm Legislation Act, or the Rifle Act. The law would require gun manufacturers in Illinois to help pay for the public costs of gun violence based on how often their products are traced to gun injury.
While firearm manufacturers profit handsomely, Illinois taxpayers, we pay with our lives and our pocketbooks.
We might go do a sunset real quick. Let's go check out the sunset. I hope I can get to it.
Father Michael Flager says the law would save taxpayers money while also reinstating accountability for firearm manufacturers.
The Rifle Act is not only fiscally responsible, it's a moral document that brings accountability and financial responsibility to firearms manufacturers.
Opponents of the law call it unconstitutional. The National Rifle Association says it's not fair to force the industry to, quote, pre-confess to crimes. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago police trying to stop violence tied to so-called teen takeover gatherings may soon have a new tool available. Aldermen gave preliminary approval today to a measure that lets police impose a curfew on a specific area of the city to head off gatherings that have led to violence. But a companion plan that would fine social media companies that refuse to take down posts promoting those gatherings was held off for more work. Lincoln Square Alderman Andre Vasquez is raising legal concerns.
Trying to go after the platform when there's actually federal law that protects social media companies from being liable for situations like this puts us in a position where we're going to get sued and lose.
City lawyers are working with sponsors on an update. One of the candidates in the large crowd of Democrats looking to replace Jan Schakowsky in Congress has picked up her own endorsement.
I'm Jan Schakowsky, and I'm proud to endorse Daniel Biss for Congress.
Jan Schakowsky has
there we go.
represented
Look
the
at that
ninth district
sunset.
in Washington since 1999 and announced her choice of successor in a video Biss shared to social media.
I've seen a lot of politicians talk, but Daniel Biss delivers. He's expanded healthcare access, stood up to ICE, and fought against corporate greed.
The Evanston mayor called Schakowsky a fierce and fearless warrior and a true friend. Meanwhile, State Senator Laura Fine, one of many Democrats in the race, reacted to the endorsement by saying she respects Schakowsky's service, but this race is about the future of the community, not the past. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Popular online gaming platform being taken to court over alleged sexual exploitation of an Illinois child.
California-based Roblox Corporation is the target of a new lawsuit filed on behalf of a Cook County father and his 9-year-old son, described as an avid Roblox user. Last year, the suit claims the boy began messaging with someone on the app that he thought was another child, but who turned out to be a male adult who allegedly began grooming the boy and later received sexually explicit photos. Attorneys say a lack of safety protocols and guidelines have made the app, quote, a breeding ground for predators. In a statement to WBBM, a spokesperson says, in part, Roblox aims to build a platform that sets the bar for safety online, and we prioritize the safety of our community. It calls this an industry-wide issue and says the company continues to partner with law enforcement as well as mental health groups to avoid the sexual exploitation of users. Andy Dang, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
435 around the world now. President Trump's recent statements about taking over Greenland have raised many questions nationally and internationally.
Why does President Trump want Greenland?
To deter Russian and Chinese aggression in the Arctic region.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president is considering buying Greenland, which is a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark.
Well, that's something that's currently being actively discussed.
But Leavitt says military force is not off the table.
All options are always on the table for President Trump.
Officials from Denmark and Greenland will be meeting next week with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Coming up, traffic, weather, and low gas prices. It's 436.
Dear Evan Hansen is an original story about a lonely teen, a small lie, and the search for love and acceptance, even when we make mistakes. The 6-time Tony Award-winning musical is live February 4th through March 22nd at Paramount Theater in downtown Aurora. Get your tickets at ParamountAurora.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Stables presents That Was Easy.
This year, it was important for my business to start strong.
Starting weak is not recommended.
But first, I needed a lot of stuff for the office.
Sounds like a shopping spree.
I just went to Staples. They have great prices on everything, like ink, toner, printers, paper, and chairs. And now, you can get up to 30% off select.
Maybe tomorrow I'll try to get here when the sun is going down, if it's a nice day, and we'll see the sunset going down. We'll sit here, we'll listen to the rest of the news. There you go, man. It's nice over there. I should learn all these churches. Let's see if we can see it right here. Right.
Where you'll find big Mackie Webport discounts.
There you go. How about that? There's the sunset. Right? We'll sit here for a second.
Ford models. In Buffalo Grove, the BP on McHenry and Buffalo Grove Road has gas for $2.99 a gallon. In Burbank, the Mobile on 87th and Central has gas for $2.99 as well. If you see a lower price, give us a call, 312-409-4277. Coming up.
This is Glenn Marshall. The Chicago Housing Authority is helping college students with gaining internships and career skills.
The story's on the way, but first it's 4:38. Time to check in on traffic now with Neil Fiorito.
Or at least a couple of crash delays starting on the Eisenhower inbound at Ashland. One getting cleaned up on the right shoulder. Pretty heavy from Manheim. An hour 15 in from I-90. 43 in from Manheim. Heading out on 290, you're looking at 48 to the Manheim exit. An hour 8 to the Jane Addams Tollway. Still big delays on the Stevenson on either side of County Line Road. Crash getting cleaned up on the left shoulder outbound. So you're 57 to the Tri-State. Hour 10 to 3:55, and with your Gapers delay inbound from Lamont to County Line, 45 minutes in from the Veterans Tollway, 27 in from the Tri-State. On the Tri-State, speaking of, southbound traffic pretty heavy from the Bensonville Bridge to before 290. Had a stall in that area. That has since cleared. Most of the tollways have delays, but nothing out of the ordinary. We're seeing a big backup on I-80 westbound passing LaGrange Road. It looks like a crash there. Past that, brake lights from Briggs to Larkin and Humboldt to I-55. Delays eastbound on I-80 from Chicago Street to before Briggs and from Kedzie to the Tri-State Tollway. Nothing major on the roads in northwest Indiana. Back to our expressways and your travel times. The Eden's coming in 38 minutes to the Kennedy from Lake Cook. Going outbound just 17. A slowdown from the Kennedy Junction to Foster. Travel time on the Kennedy 45 in, 40 minutes out to the airport. On the Dan Ryan, you're 42 out to the split, 18 minutes inbound. 57 on the Ford, 18 getting out. You saw the Lakeshore Drive traffic on either side of Chicago Avenue. Brake lights through Graham Park and southbound getting into Hyde Park. From the Metro Traffic Center, your next report's at 4:48. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather. After starting off mainly clear tonight, we'll start to see clouds increase later on. Tonight's low around 39. A lot of clouds into tomorrow. It'll turn breezy in the afternoon with some rain at times, high 53. More rain tomorrow night. The temperatures hold steady or even rise through the 50s. Then a shower to start on Friday. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty cloudy, breezy, and eventually cooler as temps fall from the 50s into the 40s. 43 at O'Hare and Midway right now. 43 in Palatine. 44 at the Lakefront, going down to 39 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
It is 4:40 now. The latest from Venezuela. Officials there say at least 24 security personnel died in the U.S. raid that captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife, in addition to the 32 members of Maduro's security detail. Correspondent Lilia Luciano reports that tensions are high.
It's not just civilians that are on edge. Last night, gunfire rang out near the presidential palace, and it turns out that it was the military shooting down some commercial drones. And here at the border, you can feel the volatility.
It also comes as the U.S. says it has seized 2 sanctioned oil tankers linked to Venezuela in back-to-back actions. The U.S. population is expected to grow more slowly over the next 30 years.
The Congressional Budget Office says the U.S. population will be 364 million in 30 years, 2.2% smaller than it predicted a year ago. Without immigration, the population will shrink in 2030, and even with the shrinking population, Social Security and Medicare, which are already struggling under an aging population, will be under increasing pressure, with fewer than expected people in the labor force paying taxes.
Starting in 2030, the CBO also predicts that annual deaths will exceed annual births. The son of famed director Rob Reiner appeared in court for the second time. He faces first-degree murders in connection to his parents' deaths. Gwen Baumgartner has an update on the trial and the switch in his legal team.
At the scheduled arraignment today, we learned that Reiner's high-profile attorney, Alan Jackson, is removing himself from the case. He said this today.
Pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder.
Reiner now will be represented by a public defender. Because of the change in representation, today's arraignment was postponed for a second time until February 23rd.
Defense attorney Alan Jackson asked to be replaced over circumstances beyond his and Nick Reiner's control. The Chicago Housing Authority is helping CHA college students learn career skills and how to network with potential employers.
I really enjoy the experience. They're always giving out new and fresher tips on resume building.
Olive Harvey College sophomore Kaylin Palmer is proud to be one of 100 Chicago Housing Authority scholars attending the Take Flight Networking and Recruitment event hosted by CHA every year. She says she's seen how the event helps students who are members of the Housing Authority connect with 20 representatives from different corporations, including JP Morgan Chase, Lowe's, Chicago Police, and and even Banana Republic.
Banana Republic is literally always here, so I really appreciate that.
Jared Evans with JP Morgan Chase says he comes every year hoping to make an impact on a young person who's trying to better their future.
Every year I do this, it seems to get larger, and that's important as well to give people.
Oh, I should show you guys the rest of that scenery, right? Because yesterday was foggy, right? If you want a nice view of the city, here it is. And the cops are up here too. See that? Everybody comes up here.
With a chainsaw.
There you go. Is it nice or what?
Affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4
There you go.
couples sleep in separate rooms.
Let's keep moving, right? I should have showed you the nice part, right? Then you can see the whole city from up here.
Unlike many other practices,
This is the Best Buy on Roosevelt. They got security up here.
comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you.
But it's a nice spot if you want to take a nice picture.
Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You want to do some yoga? Get a yoga class. There you go. I got to do my yoga. I tried to do yoga today, man. I was horrible, man. I don't want to say nothing. That's about here. I'll show you here. It's nice. Look, you can see the whole city from up here. It's really nice. It's a nice spot. Right there. See that? And when the sun is still shining, it reflects off all that glass there. It's really cool. Hey, he's moving out. That's it. So it is what it is. He's been out. It's the guy that's in the military, right? He goes in and out and out. But this might be the last time, right? He's been out a few times. He's been deployed. He's been out. He's been back and forth. But this might be. Sorry about it. I didn't know where I left off. I said that I was talking about my kid. I'm spending a little more time with him. It might be the last. It might be. He might never come back after this. Meaning, this might be the time he moves out forever. He's back and where he's in the military, but he's getting an assignment or a job and that might be it, right? He's been deployed. He's been back and forth. He's had a couple of good jobs. But that's kind of like a contract thing. It's here and there. But this one might be permanent. So he might. That's it. So I'm spending as much time as I can with them. Because when they were small, my children, I started working at the school system, and then I worked at the teachers union, and I spent a lot of time on the job. So workaholic. So I did a lot of stuff with my kids, but I could have spent a little bit more time with them. I'm not guilty of it. I don't have no remorse. But now I have the flexibility in my schedule, like tonight. I mean, I can go crime chasing and I can go do that, but I'm going to be honest with everyone. I choose to be with my child tonight. It's not a child. He's 25 years old. He's a man, all right? He's done things that I haven't done. So he's a man. But I'm going to go spend time with him, right? Because it might be the last time that we hang out, right? Besides maybe the holidays or when he stops by again. And yeah, he's moving far, so that's the point I'm trying to say. So I'm going to spend some time with him. I'm going to go around. I do a few rounds. We'll see what it is. I'm going to try to see if there's anything going on. Everybody heard the sad news today. 94th or 92nd in Stoneleigh. Somebody died because of reckless driving, racing. And did you guys get that stuff the other day? There was 2 car-to-car shootings. What was it? Tuesday morning, I think it was, or Monday morning? Tuesday or Monday? Might have been Monday. I got to double check my notes. But there was one morning where there was one guy shot, car-to-car crossfire, and then a few hours later, there was 2 cars shooting at another car. Now, it might have been a shootout between 3 cars. 3 cars in front of by Sherman Park. So we have a lot of bad crime happening right now. I mean, there was a shootout between cars right next to a school, and the car crashed at Sherman Park. So I don't know what they're talking about. Crime is down. There's been armed robberies on the CTA this week, last week. Lots of burglaries. A couple of homicides. I think we're at 2 homicides this year already. 78-year-old was just shot down in by the old Leclerc Quartz area. You know where that's at, on by Cicero and 44th in that area. You know, they got a lot of drugs and hookers over there, prostitution all in that area. So just because you tear down the projects, people think, oh, I tear down the projects, everything's good. No, that's not how life works. If you're talking about these root causes things, then you need to take care of it. The first thing to solve crime is jobs. You have to have opportunities for jobs. The second thing for reduction of crime is behavioral issues. If it's drinking, gambling, drugs, whatever it be, I don't know what it is. Behavioral issue, anger management, all of that stuff, right? That's the second part. First, you got to get the guy some work, right? Or the woman some work and make sure they have some money. In the middle of that, you need to see what's the problem there, right? Did they have a booze problem? Did they have a behavior problem? Did they have a drug problem? Did they have a gambling problem? Did they have an antisocial problem? Whatever it is. Did they have a mental problem? Behavioral isn't mental. Everybody knows that. Those are two separate things. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to be doing to help people out, and I don't think we're addressing it. That's all I got to say. We're not. And that's one of the reasons I'm spending some time with my kid, right? I don't know when I might ever see him again, right? You might never see the kid again, right? You move out and something happens to him or whatever, right? You know, everybody knows that as you grow. Everybody knows that one time when you moved out, right? We all have done it. If you're an adult, you move back and forth. Some of us live with our families, extended families. My sister-in-law in Japan, she lives with her mom, but that's how they do it there. My family in Europe, they live with each other. It's a different. Here in America, in the United States, it's different culture, right? You move out. It's a rite of passage almost. So we all have that experience, right? So that's what I know that's coming with my kid here. So let's see what these guys are doing over here. I don't know if I'm going to stop and talk to them. I don't know, man. These guys are pretty rough over here, man. They shoot people and they do stuff over here, right? Oh. There they go, man. I seen you guys on the TV the other day. I seen you guys. And then there was some. It was one of the. I think it's the guy, Hispanic guy. He's arguing with some guy over at the hot dog joint, and I know that guy. And I go, "You don't know nothing. Shut your fucking mouth." I said, "These motherfuckers know me out here. You fucking shut the fuck up. Come and do some shit, man. I'm trying to do my best. You know, I stopped because I was gonna do that documentary. You know, some dude said he was gonna kill. He was gonna kill me. I was over there by the chocolate factory. You know, the chocolate factory over there. Yeah, over there. And they got migrants over there, so I guess the migrants turned me in or something. And so the dude comes and goes, "I'm gonna shoot you." And I said, "Oh, okay." Yeah, it is like it is. I mean, shit's the way it is. So, is at least the city talking to you guys or not? No, you still on the list? See, we've been talking about this, and there's a bunch of us, and I have some ideas, but I'm live feeding now, so I won't talk about some of my ideas because they might be illegal. But this is the time we need to push this dude because he's his last term in office. This is his third year he's starting, right? So we need to push him for some shit. I'd say this is my idea. Just give us a fucking building. I'll help you guys. I used to teach carpentry in a high school. I know I've done it. And look, I'm pretty sure everybody in here can fix something. And then why don't you give us a building and we fix it?
I know. I've heard something.
An abandoned building, I don't care.
I heard they've been doing it, but I don't know what.
Is the city doing it or are people doing? You know, because in other countries, what people do is just take over buildings. Yeah. That's what I do.
That's what I heard that they abandoned buildings were good ones. I heard, and they fix it up just like you. There ain't nothing. If you want to demolish empty,
we don't need to demolish nothing.
I can study, you know, that, and I can put it in. If you do the same thing, move.
But we just do it together. I don't care. I mean, I was just talking. My kids leaving out. All my kids are adults. So I got the time. I don't care. I was ready to come and live in a tent with you guys and do like Walter Jacobson and do some reporting and shit, man. But you know what I mean? So look, I'm about solutions, but there's nobody doing it. I mean, so we're gonna have to do something. Is there any organizations? Is there any homeless organizations? Because I know a few of those guys. Are they coming out? Ministry? Yeah, I know they've been around for years. I like them. They used to take care of me. They started when there was the AIDS epidemic.
And you got another one that's big. That's a big.
Yeah.
And the other one is community network.
But what are they doing? Are they? The main thing see. What about employment? What about drugs and alcohol and behavior and all that shit? You know all that. Just because you get an apartment, that don't mean you fix shit. That don't fix nothing. You got a spot, and now you're doing your shit in the spot, man. I'm sorry. I gotta tell the truth, my brother. Hey, it's not good or bad. It's just how life goes. It's just how fucking life goes, brother. You know, I seen a bunch of like motels empty. I'm like, give us one of those motherfuckers. Yeah. So slap it together, put some paint on there. Who cares? They're like, oh, liability shit, man.
Well, go ahead. You make money, get a building and everything. How many rooms in it? I'm quite sure you can fix it.
They got one. They're gonna redo a church down in. I just heard on the news yesterday, Inglewood, but. They're getting $43 million to fix the church so it's apartments for affordable housing. $43 million. You can build that damn building there for $43 million. What the fuck you need, man? Give me some paint. We'll put some water in there, some hoses. Yeah, you know how to do what the plumbing is, just pipe and electric. Might need to get a guy that knows that a little better so we don't burn him, but who cares, man? All right, I'm working on it. I'm thinking about it, but I want to stop by. I see you guys on new. And then the state troopers are here too. The other day I seen. Oh, is it? Well, I said they should have let you guys stay under there. It's safer. It's safer there because it's got the gate. You put a security guy there. One of you guys does security at night, and you're done. You're safe. You don't in and out. No. But.
I'll be here.
All right, I'll see you guys. I'm trying to figure stuff out, all right? I'll figure it out, and then we'll do something, all right? Be safe, guys. Good seeing you. I still owe you guys a tray of chicken. I took care of some guys downtown.
You know
what do you want?
Propane.
The big tanks or the small tanks?
Either one. Like
the green one or the big one?
Both. It's right there. The cheapest one is at Home Depot.
How much is it?
What's the
They're small green ones?
Yeah.
What's up, my brother?
When you go to Home Depot and go to
Were you on the TV the other day? Huh? I seen one of you guys on the TV the other day.
What's 74?
Which one? The small one?
The big one.
Or the white one with the handle? Both of them?
The cheapest right now, if you go to Home Depot page, they go to 76 and turn over there. That's right there.
All right. If I grab one, I'll grab my drop. Which tent is yours?
I got this one. I got 3 down there, 18.
Where are you at?
18.
But which one?
The one in front.
With the lady over there in the front there?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be either way. Just come in here.
All right, I'll see you. John, and what's your name again?
Tyreen.
I don't know. I'm bad with names. I used to smoke weed when I was a kid. SubX, the news guy. I used to smoke a lot of weed when I was a teenager. My brain is fucked up.
That time over there. You been in the military, no?
No, my kid is. What branch were you in?
I was Army. I was 13 Bravo and 91 Alpha.
Oh yeah? Where'd you go? Where'd you do your base? What's up, my brother?
That's war
yeah?
Guatemala.
My kid is going back again, man. He just came back, man.
It's good. I mean, in a war, so
he couldn't get a job, so he went in. Fuck it, man. He just came back.
You gonna go to school? If you in a job, you gonna get a military. They gonna teach you. They pay for the goddamn college.
That's what a lot of kids are doing. And then you got these anti-military people that said they don't want a military, but it's the only place to get a job.
Yeah. If it's there, use it.
All right. So propane, all right?
Yes, thank you.
Take it easy, guys. Good seeing you. No more being on TV. See you guys. There you go. They got the regular problems here, right? All right, 4:59. We're gonna listen to the. Sorry I did that, but I need to check in with my guys here. So you see, they all know me. So. All right, where are we going? We'll listen to the news now.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
This is Nancy Hardy. The Inspector General for CPS has found more cases of fraud and sex abuse despite earlier reports.
The Chicago City Council Committee advances a new measure that would give police the ability to call a snap curfew in the event of a teen takeover. Plus, a Minneapolis woman is dead after being shot by an ICE agent. The latest on that coming up from CBS News. Blackhawks host the Bulls at the Blues at the UC tonight in business.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Wall Street ends mostly lower on worries about the U.S. labor market. The Dow tumbling 466 points. The Nasdaq adding 37. The S&P down 24.
It's 41 degrees at 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. ICE agents clash with protesters as the FBI and Minnesota authorities investigate the shooting death of a woman by an ICE officer in a South Minneapolis neighborhood this morning. This resident on what he saw.
Shot 2 or 3 times through the driver's side window. The car drove a 30, 40 feet and crashed into another car in the telephone pole.
A U.S. official has identified the SUV driver as a 37-year-old Renee Good. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the woman tried to hit an officer with her car and was practicing self-defense. Minneapolis's mayor refutes that, and Governor Tim Walz says he has issued a warning order to the Minnesota National Guard.
Do not allow them to deploy federal troops into here. Do not allow them to invoke the Insurrection Act. Do not allow them to declare martial law. Do not allow them to lie about the security and the decency of this state. And let's let this investigation play itself out.
More from CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
The president says the situation's being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They're just trying to do the job of making America safe. No other specific response yet from here at the White House.
President Trump will meet with U.S. oil executives at the White House on Friday to discuss Venezuela. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says there's certainly a lot to discuss.
It's just a meeting to discuss, obviously, the immense opportunity that is before these oil companies right now.
Chevron is the only U.S. oil company currently operating in Venezuela. In the mid-2000s, Venezuela nationalized the assets of ConocoPhillips and Exxon. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House. A judge has delayed Nick Reiner's arraignment in the killing of his parents, Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner. Defense attorney Alan Jackson asked that he be replaced by a public defender, and the judge approved it.
Circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control have dictated that, sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick.
The arraignment is now scheduled for February 23rd.
He doesn't got no money.
The Congressional Budget Office says the U.S. population will be 364 million in 30 years, 2.2% smaller than it had predicted a year ago. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Without immigration, the population will shrink in 2030, and even with the shrinking population, Social Security and Medicare, which are already struggling under an aging population, will be under increasing pressure with fewer than expected people in the labor force paying taxes.
U.S. transportation officials say California will lose $160 million for delaying the revocations of 17,000 commercial driver's licenses for immigrants. This is CBS.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age.
See how they scare us? So, fix the immigration system, have a way to get people in, incentivize people who have degrees and good education and want to build the American families and Americanism, and open up the borders. We can, as long as but you can't just open up the southern border and let people walk across. Now we're dealing with that now, right?
Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Lisa Fielding.
Listen to BJ. Listen to what the mayor says. Listen.
39 tomorrow, rain at times, a little warmer. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 5:15. But first at 5, the watchdog for Chicago Public Schools says it's found several problems in its annual report.
A former IT worker defrauded CPS out of up to $135,000 between 2020 and 2023 by inflating work hours and double dipping, according to the Inspector General. The woman allegedly claimed to work full-time for both the district and a contractor, even while on international trips. She and her two managers resigned or were laid off during the investigation. The IG also found 26 CPS employees or volunteers committed sexual misconduct with students, including some at 2 high schools on a shared campus. 6 have been criminally charged. The office cited one case where an employee started grooming a 15-year-old and stressed it's never too late to report sexual misconduct. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An attempt by some Chicago aldermen to deliver a 1-2 punch to those so-called teen takeover gatherings only landed one of those punches. A committee today advanced a measure to let police impose a curfew on a specific area of the city within 12 hours notice. Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins is the sponsor. He says a companion proposal to fine social media companies that don't take down posts promoting those gatherings needs a little more work.
We tried to take 2 steps to addressing that problem. 1 is to have a time and place curfew that can be imposed on these events. And 2 is to go after the means by which these events are exclusively promoted. We passed 1. We have more work to do on the other.
Aldermen raised concerns about social media companies suing the city on First Amendment grounds. City lawyers are working on the social media proposal and revisions are expected soon. A far north suburb is one of 2 finalists for a major solar power development.
Dutch solar company SoLarge is moving into the U.S. and will do so in either Kansas or Waukegan. Derek Vandervorst is a business advisor with the lightweight solar panel manufacturer.
We already have had a lot of discussions with Lake County partners, but also with Lake County Community College about training and recruitment programs. And we really want to work with local businesses to develop this site and become an economic contributor to the city, the county and the state.
SoLarge has its sights set on land of the Johns Manville plant, once called home, which Alderman Jose Guzman called ironic.
You had asbestos or that produced asbestos in there, and now it's becoming completely green energy. I mean, that is the perfect turnaround.
Other city council members voiced their support and approved a resolution paving the way for a possible agreement. SoLarge will make its final decision on the site by the end of March. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Should gun manufacturers pay for any violence incurred by their weapons? Well, gun violence prevention leaders think so and are pushing for the first of its kind law dubbed the Responsibility in Firearm Legislation Act. Co-founder of March for Our Lives and survivor of a school shooting down at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Fort Lauderdale, David Hogg says the new act would both save lives and taxpayers' money.
Right now, we have an industry that is making ridiculous amounts of money from this crisis. There is no good reason not to pass this law because taxpayers should not be subsidizing the recklessness of the gun industry.
Manufacturers would be required to pay into a victim fund that would be available for people hurt by gun violence. The law has been met with some criticism from the NRA, who's calling the legislation unconstitutional. A longtime creative is stepping down from her role at a performing arts theater.
Sandy Schinner announced she will no longer serve as producing artistic director of Chicago's long-established Shattered Globe Theater Company. 75-year-old Schinner spent more than 25 years as artistic director of the Victory Gardens Theater Company before taking the job at the ensemble-based Shattered.
They don't have the mayor when he said he's going to do layoffs, and he blamed all of the aldermen for the layoffs. Like, well, no, you could have did a budget. You could have did a buyout budget. I could outline that later on, but yeah, it's a sad when people just continue to make excuses. You heard me talking to the guys on that were living in tents. They had no excuses. They said, "Give us some propane." Right? They have a more positive attitude than the politicians. They said, "This is what we need." Simple. He didn't say, "I need $1 million. I need an apartment. I need $50." He said, "Get me some propane." That's it. You got how this works? When the person makes an excuse, lies, cheats, deflects, blames others, then we need to be careful, right? That's the problem here, right? That we have people who don't work, have never worked, rip people off. It's like that mayor from Minneapolis blaming the ICE agent. Like Waltz blaming the ICE agent. What? What was the lady blocking the ICE agent? Why'd she drive towards him? Why do you do that? Why do people lie and they cheat? That's the problem with our society. Yeah, look, I ain't saying Trump is perfect. That dude's messed up too. But at least he does some things and he says, I'm going to do this. Say he does some goofball shit too, man. Trump, he's not all honest either. But at least a little more forward looking where he's like, hey, I'm going to do this and this and this. He's trying to get all that oil stuff back to us that was given away a bunch of years ago. Which you can say it's good or bad, but hey, that's what he's doing. We elected him to fix our country, to do something, and he's trying to do it. So that's where we're at. This is some rest of the news.
518 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Mainly clear tonight, increasing clouds later, a low around 39. Tomorrow, warmer but rainy into tomorrow night with a high of 53. 41 now at O'Hare, 35. Waukegan, 36. Lakefront at 510.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because...
All right, Marietta, I'll give you a call. You want me to call you now? You don't want to talk live, right? You don't want to talk on the video, right? On the phone. We got personal stuff to talk. I'll talk to you a little later. I don't know, maybe before or after I hang with my son. I'll give you a call, okay? But, I mean, all of us... Yes. Take accountability, take responsibility. Look, like me as a parent. I can cry and whine. I should have did this. I should have. No. What do I'm talking to people that are public. I'm on the video right now. I don't know who's listening to me. What world? Where this video is going? There's a bunch of people I don't even know where are watching. There's terrorists that watch my page. People know I'm monitored by terrorists, right? Left wing and right wing people. I'm monitored by all kinds of things. Trolls and terrorists and politicians. Once I had Obama's burner account contact me, and I had a lot of people contact me. So I say all kinds of things. And what do I say here? Instead of complaining of what my past was, what do I say? I'm going to spend time with my son tonight. Two strangers that I'm talking to, right? And that's what I'm going to do. See, I'm not making an excuse. I'm saying what I'm going to do. Right?
Retail base of America. Primarily, that's what Orland Park was bent. It's going to cannibalize all these other businesses.
But they want to put a double lane roundabout. Have any of you seen how people drive around here, especially in roundabouts? I say a prayer when I go into one.
Many are concerned about more traffic. The village board will have the final say. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
2 suspects are still on the run after an attempted car break-in ended with gunfire earlier today.
Morton Grove police say it was just after 6 a.m. when a homeowner noticed 2 people trying to break into a vehicle in the 5700 block of Reba Street. According to police, when the homeowner confronted them, the suspects pulled out guns and fired 4 shots in the homeowner's direction before fleeing the area in a gray Genesis sedan with a stolen Illinois license plate on it. Mai Martinez, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Alexian Brother Medical Center's labor and delivery unit in Elk Grove Village has served its last patient. Ascension confirms that it is no longer scheduling deliveries and will only remain open for emergencies. Otherwise, operations will be conducted at Ascension, St. Alexius Women and Children's Hospital in Hoffman Estates. Over the summer, protesters argued the closure negatively affects pregnant women and hurts the underserved populations. Looks like a little rain tomorrow into tomorrow night, but warmer for your first.
So it's happening. The crime is moving to the suburbs. I'm telling you guys that they might push my ass out if I don't figure out how to make some money and stay in the city, right, and keep my taxes down. But yeah, the city's getting cleaned up. It's the East Palo Alto story, right? They let crime and drugs and all of that happen, and anybody that it affects is gone, right? Working people, poor people. People that can't afford the taxes, can't afford to live here, people who are raising young families, don't want to be around crime, you're going to leave. Guess what? It's going to leave all this land for easy pickings. Go down to Inglewood. Just when's the last time anybody here has been to Inglewood? Go down there and look. I learned this 10 years ago in Pilsen. You know, I was in a meeting with a principal, a young African-American principal. And we're talking, right? And we're opposites. I was the union and she's the principal. We're opposites. But you can have a regular talking to people that are normal. She was a normal person, right? And she goes, John, they're destroying Pilsen. And I said, what are you talking about? They're destroying Pilsen. She goes, look at that building right there, right across from Wall School. I said, what about that? She goes, I want to live there. I said, yeah, that's great. Because then you just walk to school. She goes, exactly. I wanted to walk to school. There was condos right across from Wall School. I said, why didn't you? She goes, because they wanted 1 million smacks. That was 10 years ago. 1 million smacks. In Pilsen, 10 years ago. I can't afford it, and I don't think anyone that watches my show can afford that. So who can afford those homes? Who would pay $1 million to live in Pilsen? You know, go down to Inglewood and check out those prices now. All those lands, all those homes where those older African Americans worked in all those hard jobs and bought those nice houses, and then they got destroyed by gangs and drugs. And now look at, you go check. They're going to put in a bike. They want to put a bike trail there on 54th, the viaduct by 54th over there. You know which viaduct I'm talking about? 54th or 57. There's a viaduct there. That one that goes across there, they're going to spend $25 million. That's going to be the Southside 606 trail. 25 million smacks for a bicycle trail. It's not even going to be 2 miles long. 25 million for a bicycle trail that's 2 miles long. There you go. Huh? So that's what's happening in our city. That's why you see one part of the city looks like this, and then you go to another part and it looks a different way. Because they're going to push all of us out, including me. Including me.
Brian, thank you. It is 5:16. Time to test drive a new Chevy EV.
Well, why don't we listen to some radio calls? How about that? Because that's a little too much talking. I'm getting a little tired. I don't know. I'm getting tired for some reason. I don't know why. My eyeballs are closing. I don't know if I got enough sleep or what. Oh, I got up early today. That's what it was. I got up at 6, I think. Usually I don't get up that early.
Caleb's been awesome about it, and yeah, it's what you want to see, it's what you love to see.
Meanwhile, a good sign at Hallis Hall today. A key Bears receiver could be back this...
Let's just some radio call, see what's going on. I might start heading towards my place, I think. I'm going to go up here and maybe do a little circle here, and then we'll get to my place. We'll see if there's any calls, anything we need to go check out. We'll go back to 4:30 about. Let's do some radio calls.
Unit 3 in Citywide 7-1 in Dorchester, 7-1 in Dorchester, 5 male black guns, 1 black shirt, blue pants, and the rest of them got all black clothing. District 3, set.
Sorry, 7391 David, you have 171 en route.
1 David.
7391 David.
Disregard that transport. It's going to be a pre-trial release.
Alright, I'll let him know. Alright, 4 units on Lakeshore Drive, Monroe and Lakeshore Drive southbound, male white motorist and unmarked dark gray Ford Explorer. With police inside is driving recklessly, cutting motorists off with Funkin' Ave. Under heavy snow with a beard.
3212 1940.
10-4. 7387.
Second roll, come on the blue line.
0886. Identified along close Lakeshore Drive and Pearson said there is a male in a red Ford Bronco that stops in the middle of the street.
3214, I'll head over there. 7686 Adam.
7686 Adam.
I'll get 2 numbers for Jackson to the ribbon.
08902 and 08905. 08905.
SubX. 6595 King.
6595 King.
Fire investigation at 7101 South Stony Island.
08913. 08913.
7386 David.
7386 David.
Numbers in Chicago, the red line, one for the upper, one for the lower, please.
08920, 08920, and 08924. 08924.
6570 Adam.
6570 Adam.
Follow-up investigation, please, under RD number John King 10286, and we're going to be at 2529 West Walton.
You're missing a number out of your RD.
102-862.
862, there you go. Alright. I've got 08938, 08938. And is that 7372 coming in? Or 7972? I can tell you.
Take a number at Chinatown Red Line. Adam.
6595 Adam.
5-point investigation, 715 North Central.
And 408952 08952. Oh, let's see. As for information, green line at Central 350 North Central. It's a 4-year-old battery victim wearing a black hoodie, yellow sweater. Oh, boy. All right, I'll spin an exit with injuries coming in. Looks like Lakeshore Drive northbound at Irving Park. Those going into the drive. 3215, are you up that way? Yeah, are you up that way? I've got that one at Lakeshore Drive at Irving Park, northbound. Got one vehicle auto accident so far.
6595 King.
6595.
Can I get RD for 5114?
10-4, it is John King, 107249, 107249. So that's 08913, 08913.
387 Adam.
737 Adam.
Give us a little over blue line and Cumberland.
Okay, Cumberland. Alright. 0891 08 991 08 991 08 996 08 996 next.
7353. Going to red, please.
08998 08998 and 09001. Alright, thank you for taking another call on yours. That's a red Ford Bronco that's stolen.
I copy.
Alright, let's see, we're getting one at the blue line at Milwaukee, 502 North Milwaukee. It's now black cat, orange hoodie, threatening passengers refusing to exit the train. Is on the northbound side, rail car 7068. Dispatcher 01 Sammy, see anything over there?
7301 Sam.
Everybody just stop talking over each other. 502 North Milwaukee, yes, 7301 Sam.
I'm taking a look right now.
Alright, now do I have anybody who is here at the blue line at Milwaukee, 502 North Milwaukee?
387 Charlie and David, we're at the Jefferson Park School. What are we looking for?
Male black cat, orange hoodie, threatening passengers refuse to exit the train, northbound side, for cart number 7068, 502 North Milwaukee.
Stop, squad.
At 502 North Milwaukee, on on the northbound side.
595 Adam.
6595.
Artie for 5114 from Central.
14 down King 107 now. 4079 089.
7301 Sam.
Central with Sam.
I think I need new struts on this baby. It's loud, ain't it?
10-4. Alright, PH3, are you back out yet? PH3. Helicopter base. Helicopter base. PH3 or helicopter base on Citywide 1. Copy, it's not rolling in. Good address. Just cell tower hit, 3900 block of South Lakeshore Drive, north of town. Somebody in the black to see Sam Williams, 6793, Frisbee, and the influence that is swerving.
30. 7383 frame.
7383.
Number 8901 headed eastbound from 79th and Union.
09084. 09084.
3215.
3215.
Can I get a reload on the on-ramp going southbound at Irving?
Alrighty, and what type of vehicle?
It's going to be a BMW.
Oh, man, Madison Avenue, man. It's packed out here, ain't it?
Alright, that is sedan or SUV?
Sedan.
Alright.
There you go, man. It's packed.
4724.
4724.
Yeah, sent you a message,
It's fucked up out here. This is one of the worst streets in the city, right here, Springfield. They jack people up over here. They shoot you right here, man.
So my partner's on the phone. When she get off, I have a check it. I'll send it to
A lot of people shot here, man.
Oh, Davidstown, 95.
There you go, man.
May 9.
West Side, Springfield and Madison. It's wide open over here, man.
You are my favorite dispatcher in the whole wide world.
Oh.
Got it, thank you.
No, thank you. That was so nice of you.
For council time is 1700 hours on the 7th of January, 2026. Chicago Police Department, point-to-point radio split. 7383, Adam.
7383.
Yes, ma'am. Can I get an event number for a upper and a lower at 95th Street Red Line, please?
09154, 09154, and 09156, 09156, 7383 87 Charlie. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, but two event numbers, upper and lower, everything marked blue line, please.
Okay, anything out in Milwaukee, or can I code that?
The first week of the month, ain't it?
Right, I understand. You came up and took it, so.
Well, listen to 5:30 News, by the way, when it comes up.
Milwaukee, let me know. Now, where do you need your LTEC? 7387 Charlie, now where do you need your LTEC at?
Pink mark blue line, upper and lower spot.
09165, 09165, and 09169, 09169.
7383 Frank.
7383 Frank.
That dude's jacked up over there. Got the Benz. See him right there? Zombie land, baby. This is zombie land. Zombies. Oh, never ends.
559 boy?
Never ends.
595 boy.
95 spot.
Okay, I'm gonna get 6595 boy. What you need?
Well, I get a FOID investigation. 1048 North 80th.
Alright, watch your radio. It keeps cutting you off when you come up. 09187. 09187.
So we're gonna listen.
1414 units and 14 units on citywide. A person with a knife, Milwaukee and Logan in Milwaukee. Color states Lexus, SUV, silver in color, license plate of David Lincoln 93705. Last thing heading eastbound on Logan. Still coming in as details to follow. Nothing further. Zone 3 clear.
Let's listen to news, 5:30 news.
Delays on the Reagan westbound from the York Road toll the past 83 before Winfield at 59 and eastbound from York to the northbound Tri-State ramp. Veterans Tollway southbound traffic.
A lot of people out.
Street 988 to Maple. Delays along I-80.
Lots of people out.
Through Joliet and slight delays into Tilney Park as well. The roads in and out of northwest Indiana pretty decent tonight. Your next traffic report from the Metro Traffic Center's 538 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
41 degrees, partly cloudy skies at 5:29.
Shop to Lasco for delicious
A lot of
deals
people
on
out here, man. I forgot, it's warm and it's the first week of the month. Everybody's got money, so we'll see how it goes this weekend.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why
Let's see if the girls are out here on Costner, right?
her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Kilborn.
Chicago's news traffic and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBM.
There ain't nobody out here.
5:30, good evening. I'm Lisa Fielding. Here are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. A Minneapolis woman is dead after being shot by ICE agents today.
Chicago aldermen go 1 for 2 on measures that supporters say will shut down those teen takeovers before they can lead to violence. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall.
This is Carolina Garibay. Gun violence prevention leaders gather on the South Side to call for the passage of a new first-of-its-kind gun law.
Plus, police in Aruba investigating the deaths of 2 people from the Chicago area. Sports, Bulls in Detroit to take on the Pistons. Hawks host the Blues at the UC. In business,
A mostly down day on Wall Street. A lot of worries about a weakening U.S. labor market. The Dow falling 466 points. The Nasdaq was up 37. The S&P lost 24. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
partly cloudy, 41 degrees. The news continues now at 5:31. We're continuing to monitoring the deadly shooting in Minneapolis by federal agents. The latest details from correspondent Lisa Dwyer.
Federal agents shot and killed a Minneapolis motorist when she allegedly tried to run over law enforcement officers during an immigration crackdown, prompting a large group of protesters to vent their anger. During a news conference in Texas,
The girls are out here. See that? Working. That's a girl working there.
Terrorism. What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
In Minneapolis, from behind police tape, protesters shouted. On social media, the city's mayor, Jacob Fry, demanded that federal agents leave the city, saying that they are causing chaos. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
5:32 back at home. Locally, Chicago police trying to stop violence tied to so-called teen takeover gatherings. And they may soon have a new tool available following a vote in the city council committee today. A second plan aimed at how those gatherings are promoted now is on hold.
Members of the Public Safety Committee advanced downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins' latest bid to let police impose a curfew on a specific area of the city to head off gatherings that have led to violence, including last November's shooting in the Loop that killed a 14-year-old boy. Mayor Johnson says he doesn't want one entity to be able to declare a curfew on its own. Hopkins says his measure doesn't allow that.
The superintendent must consult with the deputy mayor for public safety to make this controversial decision.
But members held up a companion proposal to fine social media companies that don't take down posts promoting those gatherings. Lincoln Square Alderman Andre Vasquez raised legal concerns.
You don't sue a building because somebody puts a poster on it.
The main sponsor is William Hall from Auburn Gresham.
This is not a defeat. This is not a setback. It's an opportunity to actually bring more people involved.
And city lawyers are working on an update. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Local and national gun violence prevention leaders are looking to champion a new first-in-the-nation legislation.
Advocates, lawmakers, trauma surgeons, faith leaders, and more gathered at St. Sabina Church to call for the passage of the Responsibility in Firearm Legislation Act. Advocates say the first-of-its-kind law aims to reinstate accountability for gun manufacturers.
The Responsibility in Firearm Legislation Act, or the Rifle Act, requires firearm manufacturers to contribute annually into a special state treasury fund based on how frequently their products are recovered in an injury or death.
The money would be available for people injured by guns and their families. Co-founder of March for Our Lives, David Hogg, says the new law would both save lives and save taxpayers money.
Right now, we have an industry that is making ridiculous amounts of money from this crisis. There is no good reason not to pass this law, because taxpayers should not be subsidizing the recklessness of the gun industry.
The law has been met with criticism. In a statement, the National Rifle Association says the Rifle Act is unconstitutional and that it is not fair to force the industry to, quote, pre-confess to crimes. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
In Aruba, police are investigating the deaths of a Chicago area couple who owned a Morton Grove gym. Investigators were called to the St. Regis Hotel where the tourists were staying on Sunday. Hotel staff told police that a person had fallen from a balcony and died. Investigators then went to check the man's room and found a dead woman inside. They identified the woman as the man's spouse and co-owner of Steel Fitness. Aruba police are investigating the incident as a murder-suicide, as many questions remain. A popular pizza place and sports bar in Chicago's Northwest Side is under new management.
It began as a liquor store back in 1954. Fast forward to today, and Paterno's Pizza and Sports Bar at 5303 North Milwaukee Ave has become a Jefferson Park staple. Last month, the Paterno family announced they'd sold the business to a new family, the Patels, who say they'll make some changes, quote, without losing the heart and soul of this place. Those who currently work at Paterno's are all expected to remain on staff moving forward. The Patel's family statement goes on to say, we kindly ask for your patience and support as we learn the rhythms of the business and transition the way the Paterno family proudly ran it since 1954. Your encouragement means everything to us. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Tensions continue to rise in Venezuela as even more foreign vessels have been seized by the U.S.
The U.S. European Command says in a social media post that it seized a merchant vessel for violations of U.S. sanctions. The vessel, which according to records is flagged to Russia, had been pursued by the U.S. since last month after it tried to evade a U.S. blockade on sanctioned oil vessels around Venezuela. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says U.S. forces also took control of a tanker in the Caribbean. She says both ships were either last docked in Venezuela or were headed there. Officials say the Russian-flagged vessel, renamed from the Bella 1 to the Marinera, was sanctioned by the U.S. in 2024 for allegedly smuggling cargo for a company linked to Lebanese militant group Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran. The U.S. Coast Guard tried to board the vessel in December, but were refused. Donna Porter, Washington.
Did you know nearly 90% of Illinois farmland is
pretty wild, huh? We're like boarding ships, doing all kinds of this murder rally over here, man. Lots of people have been shot and killed right here. LeClaire, Laverne. This is a dangerous area here. Not that bad, not that many people out.
Whether it's 5,000, 50,000, or 500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now, the lowest gas prices from News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sponsored by
They're out over here.
Where you'll find big PackyWeb for discounts, low finance rates, plus bonus cash on a great selection of new
out here
models. In Richmond Park, the Walmart on Sauk Trail in Central has gas for $2.49 a gallon. In Evanston, the BP on Howard and Walcott has gas for $2.79 a gallon. Coming up,
This is Mike Krauser. An 18-year-old Antioch man is convicted of disorderly conduct for sending a cloud of diesel exhaust into a crowd protesting the Trump administration last summer.
The story's coming on the first 5:38. Time to check in on
That's a funny story. So I think they were anti-Trump people, or I don't know what they were, Gaza people. I don't know who they were. Like I said earlier, when they played that story earlier, I said, man, I can't keep up with these protesters anymore. They change so many times, it's ridiculous. They don't know what they're protesting anymore, right? So we'll play that story, and we're gonna see. I don't know which way we're gonna go now, but there's some people out there. Might go. I'll see. I'm not gonna say where I'm gonna go. I'll just go, right? Where are we at? Is Central already? It's Central, right? Let's go up Central. Let's see what's going on here.
About an hour 5 from I-90, 40 minutes in for Manhattan. The turnaround trip is 40 to the Manhattan exit and 58 minutes to the Jane Addams Tollway. On Stevenson out 47, the Tri-State hour 5, 55 and 43 in. Traffic on the Dan Ryan heavy, 38 minutes out, 18 minutes inbound. Mission Ford is a 22-minute ride out to 8094. We saw the Lakeshore Drive, typical backups on either side.
Crazy times in the news business, I tell you that. It's busy.
In and out northwest Indiana, nothing major mentioned. Your next report's 548, News Radio 1059. Indiana, WBBM active on the mainly clear to start tonight. Big clouds will increase later on, a low 39. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, rain at times in the afternoon, high 33. Periods of rain tomorrow night, breezy, kind of warm. Temperatures generally high in the 50s. And there could be a little rain to start Friday, otherwise mainly cloudy, breezy, cooler as temps fall from the 50s into the 40s. 41 in O'Hara, right now it's 42 at Midway, and plus more 43 at the lakefront, going down to 39 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
It is 5:40. The Trump administration is planning to talk with Denmark amid a renewed push to take over Greenland.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he'll meet with Danish officials next week after the Trump administration doubled down on its interest in taking over Greenland. Controlling the mineral-rich Danish territory that guards Arctic and North Atlantic approaches to North America has long been a Trump target.
This is not new. He talked about it in his first term.
Rubio told lawmakers this week the U.S. wants to buy Greenland rather than seizing it through military force. But the White House says the military is always an option. Denmark's prime minister says a U.S. takeover would essentially end NATO, of which the Danes are a member.
The Nordics do not lightly make statements like this.
European policy analyst Maria Martasut blames what she calls the president's bombastic language.
Bordering on direct threats and intimidation.
Republican Senator Roger Marshall says while Greenland is vitally important to U.S. national security,
we can work this out without military forces.
House Speaker Mike Johnson puts it more simply.
This is not a thing, okay?
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
An 18-year-old man is found guilty of disorderly conduct after his behavior at a summer protest of the Trump administration in McHenry.
There was a protest rally attended by hundreds of people who lined Route 31. Nicholas Thompson pulled up in a black Dodge pickup and sent a cloud of diesel exhaust into the crowd. It's called rolling coal, modifying the fuel-to-air mixture to create thick black exhaust. It's been used against people at other protests. The Daily Herald reports one of the organizers, Sue Rose, testified the truck emitted a big black cloud so dense she couldn't see the truck. She said it burned her eyes and made it hard to breathe, that she felt assaulted. Thompson's lawyer said the truck experienced a malfunction. The judge didn't buy that. Thompson was also fined $300. Mike Krauser, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
At the editor's desk today is Patrick Rushman and later Terry Keschner. Our writer Cecilia Fregat.
Wow, a leg of lamb.
Cruz and Eric Berlin. Traffic producer is Anton Peters.
I'm coming over for that leg of lamb. That sounds delicious.
From the small shops in Hillside.
That sounds delicious.
Business is the heartbeat of the Chicago area. I'm Rob Hart. WBBM's new business hour is in the thick of it.
All right, let's continue with the radio calls, right?
And the
the smart spending hacks that benefit your bottom line. When you stay in the know, Chicago businesses grow.
CX3 or helicopter base on Citywide 1. Murphy, it's not really a good address. Just cell tower hit 3900. 2397 Adam. 7397 Adam. I get a street stop at the Harrison Red, and can you run a deal for me real quick? Alrighty, go ahead. Adam 20078005611. Alright, what was the character at the beginning? Adam. Adam. Okay, one sec. Let's see, for Sonia, let's see, looks like Valley CL. Looks like that's it.
PH3 Citywide.
PH3.
Hey, good afternoon. We're up. Can you please give me the number of suspect?
Alright, yeah, 15 was looking for you guys a few minutes ago, but no one answered. 09420, 09420.
Alright, 10-4. We'll check in with them. 6595 boys.
6595 boys.
Squad RD for 5114, please.
John King, 107292, 107292. Commit 09187, 09187.
7383 Frank.
7383 Frank.
83 Frank Squad. Bus number 1239 headed eastbound from 79th and Gary.
09268, 09268.
Well, thanks.
Gurney, yeah, that's far. For a leg of lamb, but it's probably going to be super delicious.
Orange Line and 23 and 29 are with me.
Enjoy. Got your blinker on, dude.
09320, 09320. Alright, thank you.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
I can smell that lamb right now. I bet I can smell that lamb. Oh man, I can. Oh yeah, good lamb is good lamb, man.
Where? Oh, River Road. Rosemont. Okay, there we go.
Let's see what these guys are doing in the alley. Hopefully we don't get in trouble here, right?
09326.
Oh man, there's a bunch of guys back there. You gotta be careful, right?
Investigation 3204 West Huron, please.
09339, 09339.
Oh, man, they moved that garbage can out of the way, huh? I've been coming here for 3 years. That's the first time that garbage can was moved. Something must be going on all over the city. It might be cracking out on the drug dealers. I don't know. That's the first time that garbage can was moved. There, oh, they're all over there. Look at the zombies there, man. See the zombies right there? That's a zombie. That's zombie zone there, man. See that right there? Those are zombies, man. I said they must have moved over here. Oh, those are all zombies, man. Holy shit. That's bad over there.
10-4, thanks.
7380 Charlie.
Man, that's a lot of people over there.
15 South Halstead. 09377.
7387 Charlie.
7387 Charlie.
There.
Show myself and David at lunch at 3800
See that?
Pulaski, please.
It's messed up. Yeah, those are all drug addicts there, man. Look at that. You see that? How they're all bent over? See that there? This is John Levin Park by Central and Lake. And they're all drug addicts there, man. They're all jacked up, man.
090.
See that there? Hey, you're watching it. See, where's the city workers? Look, if I know these guys are here, the drug dealers know they're here. Why isn't there any city social worker? Do you guys remember that case the other day? Was it yesterday or 2 days ago where the guy was on the roof getting all crazy with his mom and his sister with the knife? Remember that case? It's on the man on the roof, right? He was seeing demons. The sergeant on scene said, dude, we need like SWAT or somebody to come out here and talk to this guy. Do you know what downtown said? The place with the broken concrete. Remember the video I made of broken concrete? Oh, we ain't sending nobody out there. That's how our police department is. It's a scumbag organization. I ain't talking about the officers. I'm talking about the administration of the Chicago Police Department are scumbags. There was a dude on the roof with a knife who threatened his mom and his sister. When the sergeant said, we need some help here to get this guy down, we need somebody to talk to him, they refused to send him. That's the story of the week. Unless there's a bigger story, that's the story. I don't care about that ICE agent shooting. That lady went, and God rest her soul, you don't put yourself in front of a cop car, and then when the cop says stop, you go try to run him over. Yeah, that's a bad move there, man. I'm talking about the story of the week is the guy on the roof, and the sergeant asked for help, and they said, we're not sending it to you. Now you see, look at how many people are there. Count them. How many do you see out there? You want me to zoom it in for you there? Where's all my, where's all the people that say I'm supposed to help all these drug addicts at? You gonna go help them? Where's my drug addict help people? I always get insulted by some people. Oh, you're a mean guy. I ain't making fun of these people. Look at that. How many do you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see them all bent over, hunched over? Those are drug addicts. They got problems. They're on drugs. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's the fact. We ain't making fun of it. So why ain't there a city worker out here? Why ain't there somebody helping these people? We know it's the first of the month, right? I bet you some of them are on public aid. But you don't see any city workers. You don't see no city services. You see nothing here. There's zero here. You got it? There's nothing. You won't see nothing. This is a public park, by the way. This is not an abandoned area. It's not industrial. It's not private land. You're watching this as a public Chicago Park District park. That's a park district building. I don't know what it is, if it's an ex-toilet or whatever that was there. You see that there? Those are drug addicts right there. Oh, there's a lot of them, ain't there? There's a lot. You telling me that the city don't? They're sitting all over on the benches too. If you look over here, I'm looking to my left. There's people sitting on the chairs all over here. I'm gonna get out of here. It's okay, because sometimes these guys know. They'll check if I'm filming. They know right? They know there's a cop and an ambulance just passed by. See that? Look. How many do you see out there? How many drug addicts do you see, man? Yeah, where's the cone head? This is his area. This is Austin, right? His brother, Brandon Johnson's brother died addicted and on the street. You don't care, man. Listen, if my brother died addicted on the street and I became mayor or governor or anything with any power at all, right now I ain't nobody. I'm just a dude with a video on my car. That's it. If I had power and I had a $40 billion budget, the main thing I would say, I don't want to see no one on the street. No, you see somebody on drugs, they got to go into treatment. Well, you can't force them into. No, you can't be in a park, bro. You got to be on private land. Find private land. Well, you can't find private land, and you need to straighten up, or you're going to a hospital. They lie about all that. You see, that's why I put up that prostitution sign on the south side. That's from 47th and Western. We got laws against prostitution, vagrancies, drug use in public, drinking in public, disorderly conduct. We have laws about everything, yet the city chooses not to enforce those laws. They just had, I don't know where it was. Was it in Boston? I got a video on Twitter. I don't put everything. I got to double check. It's a really good video. I think is it Boston or is it Portland, Seattle, or California? I don't know. It's a city that has a lot of bad drug problems. And the mayor, it might be Seattle. I think it's Seattle. They got a new mayor, just got sworn in a few days ago, and they made an executive order. Do not arrest anyone that's doing public drugs. That using drugs in public in Seattle now is legal, according to the mayor. It's not legal, but he says the police aren't supposed to arrest people. Yeah, I'll put the video up on Facebook. See, some things I can't put on Facebook because they'll ban me. So I have to be really, really careful. I really pushed the limit with that stuff that I just put on today about the ICE stuff. But I think that's a national story, so they didn't bother me. But I put something on TikTok the other day. Oh, I put that guy with the ladder on TikTok. TikTok didn't publish it. They said something, it's blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, that's an important story. It shows that there's people that with mental disabilities or mental episodes in the city doesn't help them. That's that story. That's the week's story. Unless something else happens before Friday, that's going to be, I'm going to do a roundup. I think I'm going to start doing roundups like on Fridays and talk about what happened all week, right? But there you go, man. A lot of drug addicts. You see that there? Those are all those people are on drugs right there. Yeah. That ain't funny. That's a lot of people there. There might be 10 people there on drugs. 10. There's a couple of drug dealers in front of me. There's a lot of people around here. You don't see them because it's out of the camera shot. There's a lot of people running around here. There's about 20 to 30 people around here right now. I'm going to get out of here because I don't feel too safe. But whatever. There we go, right? You don't see nobody around here. You don't see no social workers. You don't see no nothing, right? There's a guy who just... somebody behind my car right now, man. Somebody's standing right behind my car, man. And you gotta watch out here, man. There's all kinds of stuff that happens out here, man. Don't fool around. Yeah, they're out here. You gotta watch out, man. Gotta be really good. We're gonna listen to the 6 o'clock news. It's 5:57. Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Lake. We'll go out to Oak Park. We'll see those the suburbanites are doing out there today, right? And I need to do all of the shocks. It sounds like all my front end is squeaking. You hear that squeaking? That's the front end. I just thought I just had somebody do that work. Shouldn't be making that squeaking, but oh well. That's the way life goes. I gotta start doing mechanic work myself, I think, again. We can listen to a couple of radio calls before the news comes on, right?
Park in the blue line. 09685. 09685. Is that 7397 Charlie?
7395 Charlie. Shows with a stop at Harrison. It shows one in custody. Can we get a transfer car over here?
I'm gonna get the red line at Harrison.
Yes, ma'am.
You're in custody, 1747.
Can we get a transfer, please?
Yes. Give me a minute. They got anyone available. Students are 9 on February criminal damage to property in progress. 43 seconds of home and anonymous called in. 4 minutes of Spanish half 9 trying to get a close to Impala. Has been parked in front for a month. No description given 1986. Alright, 7395 Charlie, you have 124 en route.
7385 Adam and boy.
7385 Adam. There's nothing short of getting gas, please. 656. 738-3, Charlie.
There's a wild intersection here, man.
Numbers up in lower 79.
Central and Lake.
38. Alright, 09761, 09761, 09766, 09766. And George unit? 7383 George.
We're going to listen to 6 o'clock news in a minute.
Roosevelt westbound from Pulaski. 09769, 097.
4734.
4764.
Could I please get a homeland number for 1110 North French?
6 o'clock news.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
It's a new year at City Hall, but the budget drama of the last 2 months is still hanging over this place. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles with why Mayor Johnson is talking about layoffs.
Chicago police could soon have a new tool to combat so-called teen takeovers in the Loop. Plus, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem defends the actions of an ICE agent in Minnesota that shot and killed a person through a windshield. The latest on that coming up from CBS News. And business.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Wall Street ends mostly lower on worries about the U.S. labor market. The Dow tumbling 466 points. The Nasdaq adding 37. The S&P down 24.
39 degrees now at 6 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is now in Minneapolis, where this morning an ICE officer shot into an SUV, killing a woman. Noem says the driver tried hitting the officer with a car and
the ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training to save his own life and that of his colleagues.
Minneapolis's Democratic Mayor Jacob Frey calls that a garbage narrative. CBS's Katrina Kaufman says of the woman who was shot,
we've learned her name, that she's a U.S. citizen. The Minnesota Star Tribune had the opportunity to speak with her mother, who said that she lived in the Twin Cities with her partner. Another relative said she has a 4 or 5-year-old child. But something that her mother said is that she would not have been part of challenging the ICE presence in Minneapolis.
CBS's Anna Schechter points out,
these were ICE agents. They are not required to wear body cam video. And of course, that would be helpful in adding to this picture that investigators are putting together.
The U.S. military seizes 2 Venezuela-linked oil tankers in separate actions. CBS's Erica Brown.
New Pentagon video shows U.S. forces seizing another oil tanker in the Caribbean Wednesday. And in the North Atlantic, the U.S. also took control of an oil tanker formerly known as Bella. The White House says both were linked to Venezuela.
It comes on the same day Trump administration officials brief lawmakers on the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, and President Trump has just spoken to Colombia's president amid political tensions. A judge in Texas denies a mistrial to a former Uvalde School District police officer charged with criminal neglect for his delayed response to the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. Reporter Chris Fox.
Lawyers representing former Uvalde officer Adrian Gonzalez argued that the prosecution withheld evidence that the jury heard on Tuesday. A former Robb Elementary School teacher said she saw the gunman at the southwest corner of the school, conflicting with what she told police just days after the 2022 shooting.
There are concerns by some food experts over the new dietary guidelines released by the Health and Agriculture Departments today. Nutrition and Food Studies Professor Emerita at NYU, Marian Nessel, says she likes the Eat Real Food part of the guidelines, but she notes at a time when healthier foods cost more than ultra-processed foods and the cost of healthcare have gone up.
Meat and dairy products are the major sources of saturated fat in American diets. The only way you can keep your saturated fat intake below 10% of calories is by eating most of your protein from plants.
Says no one will be able to afford this. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age.
I don't know how plants are more expensive than meat. I don't get that. Does anybody know that? Where's my cooks at? Marietta and Isidore? How is meat? Did you hear what they said? That the plants are more than the meat. How is it? Plants, you put it in the ground and grow it. And meat, you have to raise meat. You have to raise the chicken. You got to raise your lamb. You got to raise your cow. You got to raise the pig. That doesn't even make sense. That's bizarre. What are they talking about, right? It's weird that the plant is more than the meat. I'm gonna have to look up that story. The reason I'm talking now, and I say that not only is it to talk to everybody out there and question that story, but also I say it, and then when I transcribe the notes through Otter, I use Otter transcription services. It actually summarizes and makes action steps and bullet points. That's what you get from me, right? Oh yeah, I guess, but whatever. Let's listen to the rest of the news.
Concert tonight for victims of last year's deadly wildfires.
The two brothers who've led Dawes for more than 15 years were both affected by the wildfires. Griffin Goldsmith's home in Altadena was destroyed. Taylor Goldsmith's studio burned down, and their parents' house is also gone. They're hoping to raise at least $500,000 at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium with help from Stephen Stills, Rufus Wainwright, Brad Paisley, John Legend, and a host of other musicians. John C. Riley will host. Proceeds will go to the Altadena Builds Back Foundation. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
When it comes to building back, a year after the Los Angeles area fires, fewer than a dozen homes have been rebuilt. Many homeowners find their insurance insufficient to cover rebuilding costs. Some 900 homes are under construction, possibly on pace to be completed later this year. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Chicago's news traffic.
We got a story up on the Facebook about that they want the land there. That's why they let the fires burn.
6:05 Wednesday, the 7th day of January. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have 39 degrees, clear skies. Look for lows in the 30s tonight. Rain on the way tomorrow. Highs in the 50s, though. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 6:15. But first, our top story at 6, the city of Chicago 1 week into its new budget year. And already, Mayor Johnson says he and his team are already preparing for the possibility of cutting city jobs. It's the mayor's latest dig at the spending plan championed by aldermen and approved over his objections. Here's WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz.
Mayor Johnson told reporters he and his team continue to believe that the so-called alternate budget, sponsored by a group of aldermen and approved over his objections, will not bring in the money that's been projected.
I'm bracing for what could be mid-year layoffs.
He says he and his team will check every month and expect to make adjustments. Albany Park Alderwoman Samantha Nugent helped lead the coalition that championed that budget.
This isn't the first or the second time that the administration has raised these doomsday scenarios.
She insists the budget as enacted is balanced and says she expects the mayor's office to work with aldermen to ensure that the revenue goals are met. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Meantime, an attempt by some aldermen to deliver a 1-2 punch to those so-called teen takeover gatherings only landed one of those punches. A committee today advanced a measure to let police impose the curfew on a specific area of the city with 12 hours notice. Downtown Alderman Brian Hopkins is the sponsor, but he says a companion proposal to find social media companies that don't take down those announcements needs more work.
We tried to take 2 steps to addressing that problem. 1 is to have a time and place curfew that can be imposed on these events. And 2 is to go after
looks like that might be an overdose.
Are exclusively promoted.
Let's go. Overdose.
More work to do on the other.
Other aldermen have raised concerns about social media companies potentially suing the city on First Amendment grounds. Revisions are expected shortly. Retiring Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky announces which one of the many Democrats running for her seats have earned her support.
Pointing to his work on health care and against ICE, Schakowsky endorsed Daniel Biss.
I've known Daniel Biss for years. I know he won't back down either. He'll be a fighter like me. That's why I'm proud to endorse him. Join me in voting for Daniel Biss for Congress.
The Evanston mayor is one of more than a dozen Democrats running to represent the 9th District, which covers Buena Park all the way north and west to Algonquin. Biss thanked Schakowsky, saying the 81-year-old's moral clarity and courage helped move him to get politically involved. Others running in the March 17th primary are state lawmakers Mike Simmons, Han Win, and Laura Fine. She says she respects Schakowsky's service and says she's wrong about this. Fine's record shows she'll fight the hardest. Nancy Hardy, News Radio.
SubX.News over here on the Green Line Oak Park Station, Lake Street. There's police presence and fire presence. It's most likely an overdose here. I don't know. I'll have to check the radio traffic. Again, here at the Lake Street Oak Park Station by Harlem, there's police presence. It's Oak Park Police, Oak Park Fire, and ambulances and stuff happening. We're going to try to turn around and see what this is about here. Oh, no, it's a crime scene in there. It's a crime scene. There's a crime scene in there. Let's go. It's taped off, so something happened back here. SubX.News on the spot reporting. There's a crime scene here at the, I believe this is the Green Line Harlem Station, Oak Park, right? We'll have to figure out what's going on out here. I haven't heard nothing on the news. So this wouldn't be on the Chicago channels.
Heavy from 355 to Route 126. Earlier stall clear. Dan Ryan out 32 inbound 8.
There's another cop coming from behind me.
On the outbound side, earlier crash cleared at I-80. Inbound's okay. You're on the southbound side of the Bishop Ford. That is 13 minutes apiece. 394 is doing well. We saw the Lakeshore Drive south.
SubX.News out here in Oak Park.
Report from the Metro Traffic Center at 618 News Radio 1059 WPBM. AccuWeather says for tonight, look for.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of cops out here. There's a. We're gonna go see what's this about.
Rain times with a high of 53. We've got clear skies over here now, 39, 35 in Aurora, 35 along the lakeshore. We've got 37 in Wheeling. The news continues, sponsored by Menards at 610.
Millions of Americans behind on your taxes. If you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming.
All right, let's go out here and see what's going on. Huh? Again, SubX.News on the spot reporting. Heavy police presence out here. The Green Line. (6:11 p.m.) 6:11 p.m. and it's the 7th of January. There's police tape everywhere. (6:11 p.m.) January 7th, 2026. Green Line CTA station out here in Oak Park. We don't know what's going on here, right? But they got everything's taped off here. You can't get in here right now. Green Line Oak Park Station. Heavy police presence. Fire presence. Everything is taped off. don't know if it's EMS. Usually with this many police, something must have happened. It might be an overdose. We don't know. But there's tape. There's a tape off over there too. See that there? They got an ambulance over here. Maybe somebody died. Maybe somebody overdosed. Right? We don't know. Right? There we go. Right? SubX.News on the spot reporting. There you go. Right? Disrupted. It's a rush hour time, and this is a heavy drug area. They do a lot of drug sales and drug use here. Right. That's taped off over there. You see that there? SubX.News on the spot reporting. There you go. Right? So they got this whole place shut down here. I don't know what's going on here. They got a bunch of cops here and ambulances. Oak Park Green Line, heavy police presence and EMS presence out here. Don't know if this is an overdose or what it is. Oak Park Green Line Station, CTA, heavy police presence and EMS presence. About 6:14 p.m., January 7th, 2026. We got another one on the other side there. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Maybe overdose, maybe a fight. I don't know. And they're not telling the people what's going on either. The ambulance is leaving, so they got somebody in the ambulance. So they're cutting out. So should have looked in the ambulance. So somebody was in the ambulance. So they got that taped off over there too. See that there? No idea. They're not telling anybody anything. I don't know. Ambulance just left with somebody maybe, but I don't know. They got everything taped off there. Usually if it's an overdose, they won't have this many cops, I don't think. So something must have happened in there. with that many cops.
Double amputee. On that side of the stairs, and then please use the elevator. I'm waiting. Okay.
So there ain't nobody on?
No, everything that can go wrong is going wrong. I was waiting on the Harlem bus for more than an hour because there's an accident down there. And then I get here, I can't get to the elevator. I'm a double amputee. I don't want to.
Sorry. SubX.News. I'm a news guy. I'm not gonna put you on. I'm just filming this. If you want to say, you want to say something on here, you can. No. Yeah, it's. You know, that's how life is. I mean, it's all over. It's like, okay, I understand something happened here, but there's other people that have to keep doing their stuff. And there should be some way to tell people what's going on and help you guys out.
Yeah, so all the disabled people know to come to this side.
Right.
There's stairs over there.
Right.
They should take that into account.
I'm not going to say I do this a lot.
I mean,
I'll say this. There's a lot of people standing around right there.
Right, but
There's
is
a
there
lot.
still danger? Is there some hazard?
I don't think so. There's a lot of people just standing around.
Right. So let the disabled people go through. I understand.
Or like when there's murder scenes, they guide people to their, like if there's a house and there's a murder scene, they take them through the scene safely. Like you need to get on, they take you onto the train, right? And that's maybe that guy can tell you that. He's talking to those people there. Why don't you ask him? It looks like he might help you out. He's disabled, that guy.
It's the scene. He can't go through it.
Take it easy, my brother. Happy New Year, too, okay? Sorry you're going through it. So there's sun going on. They're not letting people through. Okay. Heavy police presence here. You guys gonna have anybody make a statement here? I'm with the news media. No?
Not me.
So no one from the city or town or CT?
I have no idea what's
going on. What's going on? They're guarding this. What is? Someone gonna make a statement? Something big happened here. It shut down. They shut down the train system here. Looks like. But they told that guy if he wants to get on, he can get on over. So maybe they didn't shut down the trains. You guys gonna have somebody make a statement? With the news media here. News. Well, you know, people have a right to know what's going on. You guys shut down a station. You guys are like the criminals, terrorists. You should make a statement. Have somebody make a statement to the news, right? There's a disabled guy there that you made him go that way, man. This is a dope center, man. I watch them do drug deals here all the time. The CTA guy there taped me taping the drug dealers in here. And you come in here and disrupt the citizen. Man, I can say whatever I want. No, I can say whatever I want. You don't want to say a statement, then I can comment whatever I would think is going on.
I want to make sure everyone's safe. That's all I want to do.
So then why don't you say what's going on?
Police activity right now. So that's all.
What? You shut down the whole station, brother. Come on, man. What is this? It's a joke, man. They deal dope here every day. You know that. It's a dope center. You guys come here, let the drug addicts and the drug dealers take care of this station, and now you shut it down. That's a fact. And now you got 30 people out here fucking around. Yeah. SubX.News, right here. Write it down. That bitch over there was videotaping me before. Got that? You don't want to make a statement. There you go. That's how these guys are. Look, how many people are there? 3, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. You got 3, 4 people over there. That's what you got. They won't tell you what's going on. And drug addicts and criminals are here. That's what's going on. Shit. We got videotape. That guy that sits in there was videotaping us before. We watched a drug deal happen in there. They come here and they disrupt people's rush hour. That's what they do. Look at that stuff. Disrupting. They shut down the roads. Right.
Can't get on there. The station's closed for right now, sir. You gotta go to the next station up and down the line.
Yes, yeah.
I have for Austin.
I have,
yes, sir. Yeah, that's the station is closed. My back hurts.
There you go. See? That's what you got.
Another police officer you can shut down the traffic at South Boulevard, Harlem. South Boulevard, Harlem.
Where the number 90 bus? Hey man, there's something happening up here.
Station is shut down over here. Green Line, Oak Park. Station is shut down. Green Line, Oak Park. 6:26 p.m. January 7th, 2026. You got Metro Police here, you got Oak Park Police, and you got Oak Park Fire Department, and they're not making any statements. They're looking for a suspect. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Somebody else here showed up, right? Yeah, I don't put up shit from these guys. If you guys don't like how I act, too bad. But these things are preventable here. Drug addicts, criminals, all hang here. You guys seen me? I come here all the time, once a week in the summer. Right? Now it's shut down during rush hour, right? Why? Because they don't do proactive policing, they don't do profiling. That's why. It's all shut down. It's rush hour, right? You got a bunch of people here and they won't tell you what's going on, right? Should at least be that decent to tell the customers what's going on. Got a lot of cops out here. Look at that. Yeah, there. I don't know what these guys are doing. We're gonna throw it to the other side, maybe. They got a bunch of people on the other side there. See that there? So there you go, right? get the hell out of here, right? And it's all shut down. See that there? Let's see if we can get out of here, right? Like that. Like this. Let's go to the other side, eh? If we can get over there, right, everybody? Bullshit, look at how many people out here. You got 30 dudes out here hanging here. They won't tell you what's going on, man. Fuck these guys.
News Radio 105.9 WBM.
Around the world, President Trump meeting with U.S. oil executives at the White House today and on Friday over oil in Venezuela.
In recent days, the U.S. has removed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from power, seized 2 oil tankers, and made an agreement to take up to 15 million barrels of oil from the U.S. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says there's certainly a lot to discuss.
Yeah, you got white shirts here now, right?
To discuss, obviously, the immense opportunity that is before these oil companies right now. Chevron is the only U.S. oil company currently operating in Venezuela. In the mid-2000s, Venezuela nationalized the assets of ConocoPhillips and Exxon. Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration withdrawing from dozens of international organizations. The president signed an executive order withdrawing the U.S.
So how many people are here? Look how many people are out here. Look. You got a bunch of dudes there. You got a bunch of dudes there. And they don't want to say nothing, right?
And funding for all international organizations. It's 6:36. On the days when you're driving.
We got cops up there. You got them. You got them on the station up there too, right?
And every moment in between. As a Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we are committed to helping you stay covered at each stage of life. Whatever challenges may come your way, our mission is to be here for you and your family, so you can feel confident as the new year approaches. Visit standbyouillinois.com to see the steps you'll need to take to.
This guy's on the platform up there.
90 years of experience. You can expect personalized guidance throughout the process, helping you stay covered into 2026 and beyond. We thank you for trusting us on your health and wellness journey. Through it all, visit standbyouillinois.com or call 866-575-2583 to renew your coverage today.
Harlem Green Line Station, 6:37 p.m. January 7th, 2026. You got officers on top of the platform there. You got a heavy police presence here. You got EMS presence there. It's all taped off. You can't walk in. And then you got a bunch of guys here. See that there? So you got, it's a big scene here. I have no clue what happened. It must be some kind of a criminal activity with this many cops around here. So again, this station shut down. They're not letting people in and out of here. So we're going to see what's going on. We're going to try to figure this out. SubX.News on the spot reporter. There you go, man. There you go. It's something big out here, right? A lot of police and EMS activity over here at the Harlem Green Line Station. And they got cops on top of the platform too. This station is shut down. 6:39 p.m. January 7th, 2026. The rush hour, right? I'm the news guy. You could have told me that, and then it gets broadcast, so you don't have to worry about it. That's the way that all that. So you see, it's not just Chicago that acts a certain way with the cops, right?
Harlan to Randolph. Eisenhower out. That is heavy Independence to First, 22 to Manheim, 40 out to I-90. Inbound heavy from North Avenue to the Tri-State Tollway, and then Manheim to Harlem, 55, I-90, and 32 coming in from Manheim. Stevenson outbound, 20 minutes out to Cicero, 29 to 294. Inbound 31, 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive, heavy Harlem to Pulaski. At 55 Will County headed southbound, heavy 355 past 53. Dan Ryan outbound 27, inbound 16, I-57. Slow on the outbound side, I-80 to Balmer. Bishop Ford outbound slows from the Ryan to the Stony.
What should I say? It's violence or what?
DuSable Lakeshore Drive, northbound, heavy approaching the light in Chicago. Southbound, heavy Oak Street curve to Chicago. Tri-State South, that is jammed from I-290 to the Cermak Toll Plaza. Multi-vehicle crash involving a semi. 3 left lanes are blocked. Only the right lane squeezes by. I-80 is back to normal. 80-94, I-65 in the Indiana Toll Road. They're all clear. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 648 and News Radio 1059 WBBM.
WBBM AccuWeather after a mainly clear start to tonight will have increasing clouds later on. A low of 39. Temperatures may even drift up a little bit as we get into the overnight hours. It will be a fairly warm day tomorrow with clouds and some rain in the afternoon, high 53. Periods of rain tomorrow night as temperatures hold nearly steady or even rise a bit. Could be a little leftover rain first thing Friday. Most of the day looks dry though with clouds and a bit of a breeze, and eventually turns cooler as temps drop from the 50s into the 40s. Right now it's 39 degrees at O'Hare, 43 at Midway. It is currently 43 in Lincoln Square, and it's 39 at the lakefront. We're going down to 39 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
I'm just posting the storage real quick. Thanks for everybody's page. We're going to go on the other side, see what's going on over there.
Ministers of Denmark and Greenland have requested a meeting with Secretary of State Marco Rubio for tomorrow. The alleged purpose to plead that any invasion of Greenland would be unworkable. A State Department spokesperson tells CBS News the U.S. is interested in building commercial relationships that benefit Americans
Standing around doing nothing.
and notes concern about the Arctic
What are they doing, these guys? You got a lot of EMS people out here. I don't know what they're doing.
Is getting a makeover. The Trump administration announced new dietary
It's weird
guidelines.
that there's so many fire guys here. I don't know what they're doing. Unless there's some dead body up there. There's tape up there. Maybe I need to go and see. There's tape up there. Look at that. There's tape up there on top. Let me try to get you guys that view up there. Citizen app 2, right? I'm live feeding on Citizen 2. So there's tape all on top right there. See that there? There's somebody guarding that up there. You see that there? So there's tape up there. Something big happened. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Maybe let me do a little searching on the internet right now. We want to stay on this side or what? There's something going on. They're waiting for something. See that? These guys are waiting for something. I don't know what they're waiting for. You got a lot of guys here just waiting on something. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on here.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure.
Oh, 2 people were just shot down on the south side. 1 dead. There you go. Justin at crime chair. There you go. 2 people shot. 100th in the state. Just happened. 1 dead. There you go. Because something's going on. These guys ain't there's a lot of guys here, man. That's why I'm hanging around. Something's going on here. I don't have my ham radio. I'm gonna see if I can get to there's no Chicago police and no Chicago fire, so we're not gonna get any information from them. 2 people just were shot in Chicago, though. It's the 1st of the month, right? 2 people shot, 1 dead.
Researchers dug into years of housing data and found that not only has the typical U.S. house doubled in size since the 70s, but living in those bigger houses makes us miserable. The World Happiness Report determines that any more than 1,000 square feet per person also means less time hanging out with your spouse or family. Then there's how much more we have to spend to live in a big house when we could have just paid less to live in a smaller space. And a dog.
What did I say about the communal living? Didn't I talk about that in yesterday's program, that we're so spread out? We're even spread out inside of our homes. You just said that, right?
25 miles before her tracking tag and drone technology enabled rescuers to find her the next day. Abby suffered a hip injury that will require surgery, but is otherwise fine. Now she's back with her foster family in South Carolina.
There's a lot of people there.
Time for sports now. One more time with Adam Szynski.
Maybe they might give us some information on the traffic one.
Had a message for his players as they began prep this week for their wild card.
Something going on. There's activity there. You see that? There's something behind us going on.
Thinking about booking flight, vacations, or anything from here. So he made it very clear about what's
a whole bunch of stuff happening behind us.
Bears have a lot of players getting ready for their first ever playoff game. Veteran guard Joe.
So we're going to listen to the traffic. They might have something on the local traffic, right?
Offering guidance.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We got a lot of guys in there with playoff experience, so just kind of bouncing, stories back and forth and talking about it. But yeah, I think we're just excited.
Saturday will be just the 3rd ever playoff meeting between the Bears. The last one was the NFC Championship game back in 2011, which the Bears lost. A couple of key players could be back for the Bears this weekend. Receiver Roma Dunze and nickel corner Kyler Gordon. Both of them were limited in practice today. Dunze said after practice he does plan to play. A big move for the Chicago Cubs today. They are acquiring starting pitcher Edward Cabrera from the Marlins in exchange for top prospect Owen Casey. Cabrera had a 3.53 ERA with the Marlins last season, along with 150 strikeouts in 26 starts. Cubs are including a pair of other hitting prospects in the deal as well, minor leaguers Christian Hernandez and Edgardo de Leon. Bulls are on the road against the Pistons tonight. That one into the second quarter. Pistons without star guard Cade Cunningham this evening, but they still lead the Bulls.
Hazmat. There might be drugs up there. They got the hazmat thing. There might be somebody with the methamphetamine is up there, right? They do a lot of drug dealing here, so there might be a whole bunch of drugs up there. They got the hazmat truck out. We're going to go out there and take... Let me post this here. Homicide. Alright, let's go show that on the TV. Let's go. That's part of the... I roll up my windows. There might be drugs up there or something. Oh, we were gonna check the traffic, right?
Traffic with Abby Ryan.
Right now, Lisa, multiple lanes remain blocked onto 94 with a crash. CTA Green Line trains running with delays between Harlem and Lake because of fire department activity. Let's just jump right into the Tri-State Tollway. If you're on the southbound side, packed 290 to the Cermak Toll Plaza. Multi-vehicle crash involving a semi. 3 left block, just the right lane squeezes by. Rest of the tolls are fine, including the Indiana Toll Road, 8094.
Well, they got something going on. See that there? He's got some gas masks. See that there? It's a hazmat or something. And so they didn't say what's going on. So let's go out there and let's see what's going on, all right? Let's go back out, guys. That's why you don't leave the scene real quick, right? They got hazmat people there. See that there? So they got the hazardous materials people out there. So they might have some drug spill up there or something. See that there? SubX.News on the spot reporting. We're still here at the Harlem Green Line station here in Oak Park. We just had this big hazardous materials truck and equipment and team just come in here. So maybe there might be some drug spill up there. I don't know. They do a lot of drug dealing here, so maybe there's some meth up there or trank or who knows what's up there, maybe something else, but we don't know what's going on. It's shut down. There ain't nobody making no statements. So. The hazardous materials response team is over here at the Oak Park Harlem Green Line station that shut down. 6:51 p.m. January 7th, 2026. That's a big truck there. You see that there? Is there anybody that can give a statement to the media?
We're not authorized, I'm sorry.
Is it a criminal or is it fire department? Can you at least say that?
Fire department.
Fire department event? All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Not authorized to give statements.
That's all right. That's all right.
I don't get fired.
All right, well, that's the way life goes. I know that, right? Thank you. I appreciate that, by the way. Thank you. So it's something to do with the fire department there. There you go. So, something to do with the fire department, whether it's a chemical spill, drug spill, or something like that. They got that taped off there, and they got something taped off up there on the stairwell. Might be an overdose. So at least we got that kind of information, right? From the white shirts on scene, it's not a police event, it's a fire event. So it might be some kind of chemical spill or some kind of drug spills up here, because they did a lot of drug dealing in this area. We'll try to figure it out as we go. 6:56 p.m. January 7th, 2026. Oak Park CTA station. Alright, let's get out of here. Got the Metras up there too, so they got some kind of a chemical spill there. I'm telling you, it's probably drugs in there, right? Maybe somebody overdosed. Well, who knows? I might be wrong. I'm just guessing, right? Trying to figure it out for you guys. Sorry about it. There you go, right? Let's put on the news. Maybe we'll hear something on the news, right?
Seek your funding MVP. No delay.
7 o'clock news is coming up, so we might hear something.
As fast as 24 hours for business lines of credit or term loans. Let LendSeek's AI marketplace assist you in making the winning play and score that touchdown. Apply at lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
WPBM Chicago and WCFS FM and HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. 6:58. Time for traffic. Here's Abby.
We got Lisa. Eden's inbound. Lake up to the Kennedy Junction, 20 minutes. It's heavy past Peterson to the Kennedy Junction. CTA Green Line trains running with delays at Harlem and Lake.
with fire department activity. Kennedy outbound, heavy from Nagel to Harlem. 17 out to the airport, inbound 35 O'Hare to downtown. Out on the Eisenhower, it's 33 to I-90. Inbound a 45-minute ride. Stevenson out 29, inbound 27. Dan Ryan outbound 25, 3 minutes slower in the Express 14 inbound. Next report, 7:08 from the Metro Traffic Center. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
AccuWeather says for tonight, mainly clear with a low of 39. Tomorrow, breezy in the afternoon with rain at times, a high of 53. Then periods of rain tomorrow night, breezy and a little balmy. Temperatures slowly rising. We have 41 now at O'Hare, 37 Aurora, 36 in Wheeling.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM, City Hall still abuzz with budget drama, with Mayor Johnson saying the financial plan passed by alders last month could lead to layoffs.
This is Andy Dane. A Jefferson Park pizza place is changing owners who say don't expect too much change.
Plus, a woman is dead after being shot by a federal border patrol agent in Minneapolis. The latest on that coming up from CBS News. Sports, Bulls in Detroit taking on the Pistons. Hawks host St. Louis at the United Center. Stocks kind of mixed. The Dow down by 466, S&P down by 24, and the Nasdaq finished up by 37. We've got clear skies, 41 degrees now at 7 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Trump administration and Minnesota officials have very different opinions about the shooting death of a woman by an ICE agent today. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry.
What we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the officers shot the woman in self-defense.
ICE officers and agents approached the vehicle of the individual in question, who was blocking the officers in with her vehicle, and she had been stalking and impeding their work all throughout the day.
And she called that an act of domestic terrorism.
After the dismissal of the racketeering case against President Trump in Fulton County, Georgia, his lawyer wants the county to repay their attorney's fees. WSB's Veronica Waters with more.
County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts says this new law is uncharted territory.
What we do know is that if we do have to pay, it will come from the district attorney's budget, which is provided to her by the Board of Commissioners.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis was disqualified for misconduct, and the prosecutor who appointed himself to the case declined to move it forward. Veronica Waters for CBS News, Atlanta.
A new CBS News poll on the U.S.'s recent actions in Venezuela finds that most Americans think the Trump administration is trying to get access to Venezuela's oil and expand U.S. power in the region, and that's a turnoff. But according to the poll, they're more likely to approve when they think it's about stopping drugs, gangs, and terrorists. President Trump's recent statements about taking over Greenland have raised many questions globally. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is asked why the president wants it.
A lot of people out here.
Open and clear with all of you and
Oh man, yeah, there they go. They got the
United States to detect.
They got the hazmat guy out there, but what is he gonna do?
In the Arctic region.
We gonna go out there or what?
Which will withdraw
I guess.
from 66 international organizations, including the UN's population initiatives. The son of famed director Rob Reiner appears in court.
There we go, man. We got the hazmat guy out here. See that there? There you go, man. So they got that guy all dressed up. We're going to see where he goes and what he's going to do in there, right? There you go, right?
Fire